It's just that when I smoke, I think, man, I'm always smoking. What if I was born white instead of black? Would Caucasians still talk shit behind my back? Would I jack, pack a pistol, or ever sell crack? Attack an enemy, or walk laps around the track? How would I act if one time cut me extra slack? Would I still blow my dough or be disciplined and stack? I wonder, what type of roof would I live under? My moms and pops together or my family asunder? Most likely, be close to the ones that's most like me. Spiky flat tops that dislike Spike Lee. The fact of the matter, the blacker the batter. The fatter the penis with that yak in the bladder. Would I be humble, or still wild and ready to rumble? Crumble chronic and guzzle yak till I stumble. If an if was a fifth, I could knock it down swift. And that ain't an if or a myth. But what if, what if? What if Pops would've never copped that house for sale, and instead bought one with a Damu's dwell? I can tell, I just know myself too well. I be still banged out, giving keyways hell. When I fail with the big homies coming post bail, and Michelle, would she still be in the Norvale or my mail? Would I still prevail in them shootouts and love to smell the discharged shells? I bet I'd still be a ride on the set, squabbing, can't stand to see the homies on the wet. Whacked out, looped up so much he black out. Would I ride in a county jail ride or track out? Hit the blood module or walk the main line? Claim mine with tattoos, throwing up gang signs. What if Pac would've never fell in love with a Glock? Would we still had these thugs that bang from no block? What if? What if Eve would've never been deceived? Would we still rob and kill, fornicate and thieve? I believe it'd be perfect with no purpose to grieve. Some say that I'm a dreamer and a little bit naive. What if I didn't have such a gorgeous gift? Would I have to lift boxes on the graveyard shift? Would the war be so wicked with war? Would niggas get to hang that couldn't kick it before? Would Bin Laden had a been rotten? Still hot and plotting, Armageddon on this modern day sodden. Not in a million years could we predict the pleasure if a man didn't think with his dick. Perhaps we'd be living in a world without straps, claps and kidnaps, no gangster raps. And that's the only thing that make me think twice about if being switched, cause I do it so nice. What if? Nigga don't control none of this shit. It's what if though. Getting hard trying to live in this land, Lord. I'm sick of paying rent, I wanna be the landlord. Not too many children in my section 8 last night. Lights out, they on section 8. We get constipated from that government cheese. Paying taxes, steady get a government cheese. Don't nothing change no matter who we vote for. So why waste time even going to try to vote for? When you grind so hard, you supposed to see profit. Why we so broke? We supposed to be prophets. We never had a choice on coming to America. I feel something real bad is coming to America. I don't write the mayor, they say I got a right to, but I don't even know where a nigga supposed to write to. I keep my chest up and head to the sky until the day I burn or head to the sky. Devil, I know that I'm godson, but I still smoke weed with my godson. And even though they say the woman is the backbone, we just wanna see them laying on their backbone. Thumb through the word, but you know what's confusing? Between the experts, it's so much confusion. I want it all, for all that I care about. I want a ball, that's all that I care about. Travel 50 states, broke 48 laws. Ran across a book called 48 Laws. Some say it's bad, some say it's a good book. I say it ain't got nothing on the good book. I ain't tripping on going to the motherland. On the other hand, I like to buy my motherland. What price can we all get peaceful? Stay at war and swear that we peaceful. What's wrong? Can't we all get along? Wanna buy a home, but can't get along. I'm trying to stay focused and write the right rhymes, cause these days everybody write rhymes. My uncle went to the rehab, hooked on morphine. It seems he came out even more fiend. Don't wanna see cuz die or blood bleed. We all lose every time black blood bleed. Holla Hail Mary, a light no candle, but I'm still trying to handle what I can do. I go hard for what I need, so it's ample. Watch me, you won't need no example. Crucial situation, my life in a crisis. Need to trade my life in for crisis. Please forgive me for what I did last night. I don't know, this might be my last night. Just a week to make the moon and the stars, the sun and the earth and Jupiter and Mars. How loving and patient the Father must be, cause I'm a G. You see, he's still working on me. Our Father, which art the Most High. Your son done had a few drinks and I'm so high. You watch the sparrows, I know you keep a close eye on your children, you always been close by. Beside the lust, I got so much pride. I'm filthy inside, you let so much slide. You hold me down in the coldest situations, and this song is just to show appreciation. Don't deserve to be alive the way I drive. I grind 9 to 5 and don't pay my tithe. And I don't go to church on the Sabbath, but I promise I'ma try to work on them habits.
Lord, wanna be a Christian in my heart, but it's hard. Tell me where do I start? I really wanna change my ways, but all I can do is my part. Lord, wanna be a Christian in my heart, but it's hard. Tell me where do I start? I really wanna change my ways, but all I can do is my part.
I hear your spirit speaking to me saying stop your stressing. Don't you know when you complain you only block your blessings? But every day I try to do a good deed, feed my family despite what the hood need. I'm an Israelite, moms had the faith of Hannah. Walked the wilderness, I done ate some manna. Led by the fire at night, though it's dark. Been locked away with all animals like Noah's Ark. I feel no fear when I battle on the field, for real. My father owned all the cattle on the hill. I need a change, but I doubt it's gonna come if you don't make it happen for your prodigal son, Lord. I confess, it's only one Lord, but look at all the dirty deeds that I done, Lord. Truly wanna give you my heart, but where to start? Show me how to do my part.
Lord, wanna be a Christian in my heart, but it's hard. Tell me where do I start? I really wanna change my ways, but all I can do is my part. Lord, I wanna be a Christian in my heart, but it's hard. Tell me where do I start? I really wanna change my ways, but all I can do is my part.
I remember walking the block with no hope, walking with a pocket of dope in the cutthroat. I'm knowing I couldn't survive without you. Even though I'm by myself, I'm not alone. Walking out the liquor store, trying to make a nickel grow. I ain't even trying to hide my sins because I did it, yo. I was the worst one cause I'm knowing about the scriptures. I fit the description, I'm all up in the picture. They that trying to help you, I'm the one that's trying to get you. When I go to church, I'll tell the truth, I think I missed her. Fact that my daddy's reaching for me. Lord, I know you wanna speak to me. I'ma open up my mind, I'ma take a chance. Cause when it comes to you, it's love at first glance. I'm knowing everything gon' be alright. Please forgive me tonight.
Lord, I wanna be a Christian in my heart, but it's hard. Tell me where do I start? I really wanna change my ways, but all I can do is my part. Lord, I wanna be a Christian in my heart, but it's hard. Tell me where do I start? I really wanna change my ways, but all I can do is my part.
Was point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
Neighborhood, C-Mac, shout out my low, Spotter Low, cuz. Neighborhood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, crib.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's
It's
mom.
the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch.
My nigga Spider Low.
Spider Loke, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke, that's my nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
You are now in the black box with the homie Spider Low, the most eastiest. Facts over feelings, keeping it a Google Plex. Feel my campaign.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing it.
Google gang, straight legend. Google gang, SBI. Google gang, Google gang in here. You better keep that shit up Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of
shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, baby.
Bottom line, love life, show us a blessing. Pull up politic and blow us a session. Spot a local most easty. No mistake in the station. They making them statements. We waking and baking. Word of the day, EC on replay. The marijuana-thon with VJ Keyway, BS and BS. Killing on the track in the black box. We never put feelings over facts. Baymaacbiz, run me the bread. I don't get mad, I get money instead. I be high, you can tell by a nigga eyes. But wise enough to enterprise, you dig a lies. Contemplating with the Google gang, conversating. Counting coins while these cowards in the comments hating. Only thing count, my count getting another comma. I'm a magnet to the money on my mother mama.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, baby.
If you can't keep it a Google, then don't mention me. Run a check through the set, I bet them niggas mention me. Red Bull and Hennessy, I keep the same energy. No matter on a solo or a couple homies with me. Tell them come get me if they want confrontation. I keep a couple shooters with me. And we right here waiting on shit to pop off. Take a nigga top off, you tempt me. All that BS, you can miss me. Slide down Century, doing about 60 in the gutter lane. Faded off yak and drop the pistol, hopping out the rain. I won't change, keep it a Google the only way. Mention me, I come out and play. That's on the gang. We are not the same. I ain't nothing like these rap niggas. Hanging with bangers, no bodyguards. We all strapped, nigga. All truth, no lies. Facts over feelings. We ain't gonna start something we can't finish. Google gang.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, bang.
Jeter. Gratitude is the attitude. This show is a blessing to be back in the black box as we blow us a session on my mama day after the Super Bowl. No, I'm not wearing red because I was riding with KC. The exact opposite is true. I ain't finna get all into it. However, I would like to say that as close as that game was and how you never say one play determines a game, I know Jalen Hurts really hates that fumble because it was a very evenly matched Super Bowl as far as team effort, skill, performance. It's right there. And usually in close games, it's like whoever makes the mistakes loses. And the 3-point game was such a high scoring game. That unforced fumble, boy. I know that's gonna give him nightmares for a while, but salute to both of them for getting to that big stage and doing what they did. Winner and loser, really no loser. I think the winners get like 150 apiece for the game. And those that didn't win, hard to call them losers, those that didn't win get like 80-something apiece. So everybody that participated won. Very entertaining game, to say the least. I'm so glad it wasn't no boring bunt game. They came out off top, getting cracking, explosive On my mama, we got a word of the day that I have not researched, looked up, or read. You know what? I forgot we started doing it like this just to get the appropriate enunciation or pronunciation. So, bam, here we go. The word of the day is gambit, I believe. We're just going to listen to it just because it's simple. I have it. In the future, I plan to have this on deck with this better, so we ain't got to even take this much time. I just didn't think about it. Bam. And now it's not saying nothing. Well, we ain't going to wait no long time. Oh, I think that might be my little situation right here, huh? Is that my... Is that the... Let me see something. This will tell us. Oh, yeah, it's the sound. Oh, no, let me see. I ain't nothing like you fucking rap niggas. Well, I don't know. Gambit. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Gambit is something done or said in order to gain an advantage or to produce a desired effect. The workers' opening gambit in the negotiations was to demand a wage hike. Gambit. Seems like I heard that word plenty of times in my life, and I don't recall it being used in that context, but gambit, that's the word of the day, y'all. And you know we're going to go to our inspiring quote of the day. One must go on working silently, trusting the result to the future. That is definitely a thought that permeates almost all motivational speaking. Anybody that is teaching how to go from something to something else that you would consider successful. To sum it up, Neighborhood Nip the Crip, rest in peace. He illustrated it by saying in a popular interview clip that instead of, if you want to build a wall, instead about setting out to build a wall, he said each day you lay a brick, or lay a brick one at a time. And by the time you look up for it, before you know it, you will have a wall. And it kind of sums up the whole essence of TMC. The marathon continues. For those of you around here that don't know, this show was originally titled The Wake and Bake Show. And out of respect and honor and just, you know, it's a habit of ours to play with words and flip stuff. We push a TMC around here. The marijuana-thon continues. But we also have a record, TMC, in honor of the late great. However, in spirit of that word of that inspiring quote. Also, I've told you about a quote time I heard Puffy appear on a record talking in a hook, and he talked about going into a darkness where located on the opposite side or the opposite end of that darkness lied everything you desire. And he was just expressing how to the people he was talking to, or how most people be too scared to really go after what they want because they have to go through that darkness, and the experience of going through that darkness is for an undetermined amount of time, and you just don't know how long it lasts. And he was like, that's why most people scared to dive into it. You know, the majority, or, you know, a lot more people will be probably qualified or willing and ready and capable to, like, okay, you want to go into this dark, desolate zone for a set amount of time. That's more palatable, more acceptable. But an indeterminate or undetermined amount of time, you know, just out there, that's what it is. But we gonna try to keep that in our spirits and our minds and our souls around here. And the homie told me on this marijuana-thon, this marathon that continues, he threw the baton to a keyway and turned the marathon into a relay. And in the process, he expressed that he could count on me by telling me and giving me a record entitled Count on You.
Tupac of my generation, Pac was highly intelligent. But in our culture, street culture, especially in his generation, intelligence was viewed as a form of weakness. How do you get the people that's really affected by, you know, what we're trying to solve involved?
Mathematical marathon and making moves taken. The heartbreaking news made major breaking news. Nephews, nieces, siblings, seeds, they confused. Waking up shaking, aching, praying that it's April Fools. Chosen child from the now stakes is huge. Snakes and fake straddling the gate, it's too late to choose. Through violent visions gave victory, paid your dues. Motivated, demonstrated, elevated views. Truths don't die, we multiply. I ain't make the rules. Self-medicate, meditate, and celebrate the blues. Neighborhood, roller coaster, you can take the cruise, I'm good. Blue laces, suede Puma's favorite shoes. Jesus to the generation, you never say me on my babies. Most beautiful gift Pluto ever gave. For such a precious life, who decides Christ? I couldn't feel the slide twice, cause they crucified Christ. I don't know if y'all heard about, I know y'all see the title.
And yeah, I like alliteration, and it's a slight crack at humor or comedy the way I worded it. PoPo pop purchasing. No, PoPo pop purchasing. PoPo pop purchasing Prosty Punani. No, PoPo pop purchasing Prosty Pulp Puna. Let's see. What's the title, y'all? Pop. It was a gang of pigs, but I forget where the officer originated from. However, he ended up in Pulp County, Florida, caught up. And this officer here that did this press conference, right? I've become familiar with him for some reason. He seemed like he's done quite a number of high-profile press releases or conferences where he's given his reaction or his perspective on a particular crime that recently took place. And the same way you could watch a cop show or just in general become aware of a person's personality from the perspective of the stance or the role they play, with no admiration for law enforcement in general, I became quite fond of the way he expresses himself, in the sense that he is not with no BS. He 100 proof about what he bout. He is not for play. He makes it clear, similar to the female that is responsible for this here quote. One of my
I ain't nothing like you fucking rap niggas.
I don't know why we got that little short with the...
Social media is a wonderful tool for prosecutors in every indictment we bring nowadays.
The way that lady deals with crime and press conferences reminds me of this dude. One of the most popular clips I've seen of him, he was discussing an incident where I think a criminal used a weapon and was chased down by police, and somehow he was taken into custody safely, without incident. However, he was at the press conference sitting up there looking just like that, and they had the music, when I've seen it sometimes, up under him, music similar to this that's playing right here.
Social media is a wonderful tool for prosecutors in every indictment we bring nowadays.
Or if you don't know, that's the head DA up out of Georgia, what's the area in Georgia that's bringing the charges against Young Thug. And when he said, he was like something, I'm just paraphrasing, he was like, yeah, we brought him in safe. And they were kind of asking him, does he regret, or does he kind of feel like he's glad that they didn't have to use deadly force on him, or is that something that they would prefer not to do in this situation? And instead of him saying something to appease that sentiment, he was like, nah, check this out. I want to let you know, he only survived because he surrendered peacefully, and it was obvious, basically. He was like, however, he was moments, seconds away from losing his life, and we want to put a forewarning up that he was like, we look forward to the opportunity of ending the life of someone who is, that bold to do what dude was doing. But this is a 14-minute video that he got, and it's quite just, this dude, when he retires, or his other job has to be a minister or a speaker in public, this dude, to be an officer that is so no BS on crime, has a very entertaining style. I would have had video to show. However, it was 14 minutes, and that'd be a whole lot for me to have to screen record and put up. So I just screenshotted the picture, and I'm gonna play it from YouTube. Listen to this cat, man. Listen to this. This officer, he's 49 years old. Maybe in your teens, early 20s, I could imagine somebody being this excited about some sex. But at this age, I can't imagine being this goofy to be this interested in trying to track down some punani. You dig a lies? And then just listen to the ropes, all the ropes he went through, the goofy things he did. And we just gonna check this out and laugh at the law on this one.
I'm going to talk about an op that we're going to do a press conference on this next Friday morning. So y'all stay tuned for more news on Friday morning. But this obviously became big news in Cartersville, Georgia, at the police department, and the information quickly leaked out. And so now all the news media is asking for this information. So you're getting a early preview of what's going to be a very interesting release of information on a human trafficking operation. As you know, we seek out the victims of human trafficking, and in order to do that, you do prostitution stings. Well, when you do these operations, as this one was hugely successful, we'll talk about Friday, you arrest Johns who are seeking out prostitutes as well. Well, let me introduce you to what I consider a high-profile arrest. This is Deputy Chief Jason DePrima of the Cartersville Police Department. As I understand it, after talking to his chief, he's been there almost 30 years, graduate of the FBI Academy, well-respected police officer in town. Did you notice I said in town? But he was out of town. That's right, he was at an American Polygraph Association meeting in Orlando, Florida. Let me say this clearly. I don't want you to miss it. Driving an unmarked vehicle that was normally assigned to the DEA task force, meaning their officer assigned to the task force would have driven this vehicle.
Keep in mind, 49 years old, 30 years on the force, getting caught up like this. Imagine how many bush plays he done made and got away with, and then multiply that throughout the ranks. And imagine, y'all think that these officers of choir boys have been baptized into some type of more moral fraternity when they put on that uniform? Not at all whatsoever. What that uniform typically does, in my perspective, is gives a lot of regular creeps the opportunity to hide it and mask it, because they just the regular percentage of the population, nothing special about them.
But apparently was not so good to make the trip, so he's in one of the undercover vehicles. When he shows up at our undercover operation in the government vehicle, carrying alcoholic beverages, apparently some Bud Light for himself and White Claw for our undercover operative. That's right, he bought a case of White Claw because she said she would like.
Tell me.
This guy has come to have sex with a prostitute while driving the Cartersville Police Department undercover vehicle, and he was in possession of alcohol, which of course, had we not intervened, he was going to drink that, engage in sexual conduct, and ultimately get in his government vehicle and drive back to his hotel. But newsflash, this is Jason DePrima, 49 years of age, his picture at the Polk County Jail. That's right, and let me tell you the story as he relates it to us. He is texting with, guess what, our undercover detective. He started this conversation with her on Wednesday night where he was going to show up, but he became spooked. He didn't say why, but on Thursday night, he just couldn't resist the urge to be with our undercover detective, who he thought was a high-class prostitute.
Big old hornball.
So he once again began to communicate. He asked how much the price is. She said $80, or a full half hour, $120. He said, I'm in. So he comes to the house. Ultimately, he's arrested. But the conversation is very interesting. He told her before the takedown occurred that the night before he had engaged with another prostitute online for $200. And that prostitute said, hey, go get a Cash App card. You know, you can buy them at the convenience stores. And he did for $200. And then she said, I want you to take a photograph of it so I know you've got the money. Well, duh. He took a photograph and sent it to the alleged prostitute on Wednesday night, according to him. You're not going to believe this. You can't even believe this. Now, this guy's a cop, and he was flim-flammed and conned by a prostitute. That's right. She took the information off of the card, got the $200, and left him high and dry. He was ripped off in a confidence scam.
Oh, my mama, I wish y'all was seeing this man gestures, the way he pointed at the picture, and just how ridiculous his whole face and energy is in regards to how he is perceiving this dude's predicament. It is extremely hilarious.
With a prostitute, or who was alleged to be a prostitute. So that was on Wednesday. Then he talks. He's not giving up. Then he talks, and Thursday night at just before midnight, he shows up. He shows up with his White Claw, and it's like, what are you thinking?
Right.
What are you thinking? What is going on? You're a deputy chief, a high-ranking official in a very respected police department, and you're showing up with White Claw and 2 Bud Lights, and we're not sure whether he can do math or not, okay? Because the deal is for $120 for a half hour, a full half hour.
Listen to this.
He shows up with $180. He shows up with $180 and says, I can send you the rest of it on a Cash App, but I had to stop to buy the White Claw. So for some reason, I don't know if he's planning on extra time, he can't add, he wants to leave a tip, he wants to impress this person. But listen to his text. He's real suspicious. I guess you would be after you got ripped off the night before. Listen to his text. If you're legit as you seem, we will have fun. If not, I'm riding around with a case of White Claw, feeling girly.
That reminds me of 2 things. For one, I remember a time when DJ Quick, even though he had some flyness to his persona, he was the G-est shit we knew out here in these LA Compton streets, starting from the underground and being actually, you know, associated, affiliated with your section, your set, putting on for it in the booth on the mic, and still having a professional career. At one point, he had that, like, just that persona of everything gutter. And then he got the fucking with Tony. And I remember one record he was like talking about, you know, it was like cuz got the feeling itself. Like you could tell the production quality was on another level. Tony was like basically another genre. They was like more mainstream than him. Cuz got the hair all the way pressed out. He was like with the little suave suit. He just had a bar in that song. Cuz I know he don't like to hear that motherfucker now. That nigga say something about, I would just have something. He say, I'm gonna sip on something a little bubbly or tickly to have me walking around naked. Wait a second. Man, that's what that reminded me of when he say, I'm driving around with White Claw, feeling girly. And it also reminded me of, damn, what I was finna say. Damn. Oh, my mama, I had another one. It was really more recent than that. Damn. Let me hear him say it again. That might make me remember. Oh, God.
He can't add. He wants to leave a tip. He wants to impress this person. But listen to his text. He's real suspicious. I guess you would be after you got ripped off the night before. Listen to his text. If you're legit as you seem, we will have fun. If not, I'm riding around with a case of White Claw, feeling girly. Well, he got to feel arresty when we put him in jail. So we put him in jail late on Thursday night under a $500 bond. He didn't get out of jail until Saturday morning at 4 o'clock. So he got to spend, almost 2 complete nights in the county jail. So now he's gone from deputy police chief. As I understand, he's suspended pending their disciplinary action.
And they wonder why we be so shocked, or we be like not shocked and be like pointing out how ironic it is that Tyree Nichols loses his life, God bless his soul, rest in peace, by the hands of black officers. And then all of a sudden, we see the ability and willingness to fire and charge officers immediately. Now, listen here. We thought that was a new precedent set, right? But look, when it's a non-black officer, look what he just said about his current position with the force.
When we put him in jail. So we put him in jail late on Thursday night under a $500 bond. He didn't get out of jail until Saturday morning at 4 o'clock. So he got to spend, almost 2 complete nights in the county jail. So now he's gone from deputy police chief. As I understand, he's suspended pending disciplinary actions.
Pending disciplinary actions. Why is he not fired? His integrity is obviously untrustworthy. It does not exist to the extent it's beyond repair. We know he's willing to scheme, scam, plot, misuse government funds and equipment to break the law, and he has a fucking sex drive that is dangerous. Anyone that is that calculated about being so far out of pocket just to have an encounter with someone for pay is no individual that can be trusted to maintain the integrity, safety, legality of our communities. It's well established. Why is he not fired and charged? Same way it's obvious that the Tyree Nichols attackers are not worthy of a uniform. Why is it different process when it's the color? I was seeing a post on it or a video on it where a white person was like saying it's ridiculous for it to be suggested that is systematic racism in place to any extent, in the fact that these uniformed individuals treated Tyree Nichols like that. They thought that was so stupid, and they were being like sarcastic as to say, where is the BLM outrage? Keep the same energy. And I just would like to point out, like I did in the comment section of that particular post, is we see a consistency when black life is taken by black life. This is why you don't see organizations and individuals like Black Lives Matter and just the general public and have the same responses, because we kind of see the polarity of good, bad, right, wrong, and in our community when it's black upon black, when blacks are victimized by violence and the culprit is known, and often when it's not known, they still will assign charges to someone. But definitely when it's known or highly suspected whom the culprit is, we see charges applied immediately, even when these suspects or culprits have the uniform on, and we see that it's not the custom. But this is why there's no need for similar outrage when black life is lost to the hands of blacks, because the law tends to come down with the justice that we perceive that we possess in our community to hold someone accountable of color when it's someone of color that takes the life of another individual of color. However, when an individual of color's life is taken by someone who is not of color and then times two has on the uniform, we see a trend throughout generations that there is no one held accountable. Is that the duh? Is it not that simple to see? That is what the protests are about. It's not about just the general loss of life. It's typically because in a large percentage of the incidents, the victim is unarmed, and then on top of that, no one is held accountable. That is the difference. I don't know what made me feel like I needed to point that out.
And he's facing criminal charges here in Polk County. So, if all else fails, he can write a book. How to ruin your career in 3 easy steps. Start out by going to Florida to a polygraph association school. Then lie to the detectives when they investigate and ask you questions. But it's like, I wanted to ask him, since he's a polygrapher and was at polygraph school, would you like to take a polygraph with those answers you gave us? How would that work for you? And according to all the information we received, he's got a beautiful wife and a great family. And you just want to go, come on, man. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells? Or do you just have brains? Why would you do that? Anyway, he's charged. He's managed, obviously, to create a great deal of angst with his family. His police chief is angry beyond words, which I certainly clearly understand. He's embarrassed the city. He's been a police officer there for a long time. And now he's facing criminal charges in Florida. Are there any questions?
I'm going to leave it at that. Man, I'm going to leave it at that. It's about, 5 more minutes left, but that was enough. Oh, my mama, don't be that guy. And don't be in that guy jurisdiction breaking the law and slipping. Especially don't be high profile, especially when it's one of us. I seen somebody mention it in the chat, and I recall one time he gave another speech, and he was putting on the gang of like hip hop chains, and he was talking about it's like it sounded like a sundown town. Gotta be careful where you're unprayerful, cause boy, they will stick it to you. Oh my mama. You got to be careful, dude. It's funny though. Hope that wasn't too much of a drawn out segment for y'all. But I found that hilarious, and as funny as it is, it's still a lesson to be learned. Even though we perceive it, we speak it, we always preach it, people always try to counter it as if we just tripping, especially Candace Owens. But we know, bro, just all you gotta do is live in one of our areas and then compare how you are engaged by law enforcement as you travel out our areas for issues that are understood across the board. For example, tents. You drive out of the inner city in our section, South Central Watts, Compton, in a whip that got tents, right? And you never, ever, almost ever, it's every blue moon, but almost ever, you can go to the better parts of Long Beach. They got their sections where this rule applies as well. But you could go all through the South Bay, Torrance, Rolling Hills, Manhattan, Beverly Hills. You could go anywhere where we do not frequent. Mind you, just think about how easy and legal it is to go to hundreds, if not thousands of establishments on every corner to get your windows tinted, even 5%, the lowest it go and all that. That's not outlawed to sell. However, for you to have and be driving it around, I guess on the books, like a Jim Crow situation, it's illegal. And they utilize it to engage us and to create contact on a rate that it only happens where we are. It's not a figment of our imagination. Even bad stickers or any simple thing. I had an officer pull me over and told me pull me over because I had the air freshener tree hanging from the mirror, and he said you're not supposed to have no obstructions in the mirror. This how they be doing us, and they get away with it so often. Like now, I be watching all these First Amendment videos, and I always hear the officer walk up and say we got to call suspicious behavior, right? And when that's all that the officer is standing on, the auditors always go dumb, stupid, and push their line and make their point and basically win their case. Like suspicion, when they say, yeah, suspicious activity, the response typically is that a misdemeanor or a felony. Saying you have no grounds on approaching me, requiring me to have any engagement or interaction with you based upon a report of suspicious activity. It is not a crime. It is nothing but your curiosity or whoever caused curiosity being sparked, and that does not qualify me as an individual that needs to be approached or detained by law enforcement. It just simply doesn't. And every time I watch an audit and I see that scenario transpire, it strikes me because I can remember being young on my way. I had just got out of prison, had been out like 6 months, caught another case, and originally I went to prison for strong arm robbery. Did 2 years, got out. I was out about 6 months and then got caught up for possession, ex-con with a burner, with a gun, firearm. And I can remember the night. That's crazy because, dang, it's the anniversary tomorrow because it was Valentine's night. That's crazy. That's deep. That's deep because my daughter was 23, wasn't born because it was her mother on Valentine's night begging me to stay home. I can remember being on the couch. You know how somebody can be sitting with their back to the arm and you sitting with your back to the back like normal. She had her legs crossed over my lap trying to hold me down, stop me from going out. And the homies used to function on Western and Imperial. It used to be a little hole in the wall right there. That used to be the spot. Like in, it's like, what, 96? I think 96, 97, something like that. And so I want to go to the joint. And at the time, the spot where she was staying was on Vermont and like 100 and something. So I was leaving there to go swing. And after the swing, I'm trying to whoop wop, make a move and get pulled over with the burner. Had a cold stash and Achiever. It was like a 92 Achiever. Anybody familiar with the 92 Achievers? I don't see them on the road no more, so I don't think I'm giving them no game. But 92 Achievers, Oldsmobile, right up like under the radio, used to be a section where you could like put your keys and all that, right? Like with a little rubber, little mat right there. Swear to God on my mama, the way it was built into the little console area, that whole little square section used to pop out. And then it used to snap right in, real simple. Until my car got searched 1,000 times and it had enough room to fit 2 burners behind it. And so I'm talking about I had a stash, I had confidence in, like I paid for it. It's been tried, tested. I almost wanted to keep that car forever just because of that. But the particular night, I was like not in the vehicle, jumped out real quick, hit a gate, and left my car running. And I had the stash, like you had to like snap it in, bap bap, for it not to be obvious. But I used to keep it like snapped out and kind of hanging for easy access when I'm in traffic. So I had jumped out real quick, didn't do nothing illegal. It's kind of late night, and one time like came down the street, seen me doing what I was doing, busted you, and before I can like get back in my whip, they was out the car, lights shining, and the car was like whoop, and I had it like kind of hanging out, so I ain't got to unsnap it if I had to get to it. So even with that being said, it took them a long time to find it. But I said all that to say this. When I went to court, I ended up taking a deal for 32 months with 80%. But I did it the first day of picking my jury. I took them all the way to the end, had pay lawyer and all that. And I had a suppression hearing, trying to get it kicked out for no probable cause, right? So it's like a mini trial, the suppression hearing, and the police get on the stand and get a statement. And I swear to God, I was young, naive to the law, ignorant, trusting. I got the paid lawyer. Nobody else responded or was triggered by this one consistent thing. The only thing the police said was, I was driving by and he looked suspicious. And that's why he chose to engage me. And now as I see how the law is designed, that's not enough. We should have been able to beat it on that point, like my lawyer should have said. But this how boo-boo my lawyer was, cuz on my mama, for one, I remember I was 21. And at the time, I had caught the chicken pox in the county jail, cuz. And she was a female. And I swear to God, on my mama, rest in peace, Black Dog 111, he had the same lawyer. And he was fighting life, and she got him life. He beat it on the pill, though, and had got out. But at the same time I had this lawyer, we was in the county jail fighting our case. And he got life with her. He referred me to her. And she did this bullshit with me. She was pregnant, and I had caught the chicken pox. But you know, in the county jail, your visitors through a thick-ass bulletproof glass and a phone with a metal cord. She told me that she can't come see me because she was pregnant and I had the chicken pox. That was one bullshit play she pulled. And then I got my whole little cap of how I'ma run it in court. I got witnesses that wasn't really witnesses, that was ready to come and say what they had to say, I had it all set up, perfect, rehearsed. This chick, she sent an investigator out to the location to get pictures. This is why I decided to take the deal, cuz the day I finna start trial, she come back to the tank and show me the pictures that she want me to get on the stand and have my witnesses get on the stand and testify that this where it was and this how it happened and all that. When I'm looking at the pictures, I'm telling her, I'm like, damn, that's the wrong spot. That ain't the address. She said, she tried to get me to go in there and politic with the whole proceedings as if that was the right address. Like, we just act like it is. Man, I'm like, this bro, Mickey Mouse. So I just took the 32 with the 80. The deal never changed the whole time. But, damn. Well, Baba. I forgot why we, oh boy got caught up, though. I forgot why we got on that. The law be janky, though. You dig a lies. But, yeah, that county jail be stanky, nasty. But, on my mama, yeah. I forgot why we even got on that subject. That was a bit of random ramble a lot earlier than I expected. But I'm going to just do this to break up the monotony of just my monologue momentarily. Y'all heard all them M's. And in the spirit of what I was just speaking on, it's always a good reminder to remind not only myself, but each and everyone under the sound of my voice that it is extremely important that we continue to read between the lines.
We read between the lines. We read between the lines. We read between
On the set, I swore I had covered my base. Ended up in court, had to fight a couple of cases. Crackers don't care when you come into places. It be written on their faces. Them motherfuckers is racist. Fuck trial, shit tricky, give me the deal. I ain't never seen a real killer beat a pill. Shooter got a brighter future if he got a date. Behind the gate, lot of politics to tolerate. Sitting in the car, finna split a cigar. To my niggas on the yard, send my biggest regards. You don't wanna run it back, we already ran it. Landed flat on his back, cause I'm heavy-handed. On the catch another fade, we can follow up. But I ain't waiting all day, niggas squabble up. Gang of anger, got it all bottled up. Gang bangers,
Whole world follow us. Evil times you believe, can you see the sun? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Evil times you believe, can you see the sun? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines.
Niggas clowns need to be in the circus. Putting these buzzers on the turf, they defeating the purpose. The first to return when the enemy serves immediately on ease. These weenies be nerve dedicated to a section that didn't deserve us. It turned us into murderers and then it deserted us. Number one lesson I learned in the pen: when you lose your respect, you can't earn it again. Smoke a lot, classified most faded. The local won't be satisfied till all his folks made it. This Cabbage Patch where he caught most of the damage at. Perhaps he know a magic plastic surgeon that can manage that. Ask me, I'm just a product of my habitat. Narcotic habits where they quick to let you have it at. Nigga homie talking about he need half that. I'm laughing at him as if my little bastard having that.
Evil times you believe, can you see the sun? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Evil times you believe, can you see the sun? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines.
I don't even know what a tank is, what you talking about with Tom Brady, but you know typically we don't even tap in on the Blueface, Krishan Rock saga drama we see splashed all across the internet. You know, a nigga would be way more in tune with Cuz as I was when he first was introduced by Ho No Hunted. Even when we was trolling Ho No Hunted hard on Instagram initially, nigga used to constantly act Cuz and like always be comical about warning him with all factual truths of the company he was keeping. And I always do that and did that just because Cuz was crippin'. How can you, you know, I'm the low SPI, so irregardless of how disrespectful I was toward Ho No Hunted, I used to always go out my way to separate Cuz. It used to irritate Ho No Hunted so much. I remember he was like, and quit acting Blueface or mentioning Blueface. He don't know you or something. However, you can recall when Blueface started doing interviews initially, when he got put on the spot, I believe it was on the Breakfast Club, and they asked him about who is this OG West Coast influences, and his response was the West Coast G Unit West era. Beautiful, Blueface, Crip, generational. And without him stating that, just because of the reality Cuz was Crippy from Schoolyard, homies and all that, I just generally keep it crippin'. So what he was affiliated with, I know how the industry go, I used to separate him. However, throughout the process of him being popular in public, I became aware of him doing something against the grain or code or integrity of what he represent, and that is he made a statement implicating a certain individual that I'll just leave his name at Tester from San Fernando Valley that he been having issues with, apparently, allegedly, since high school. It's a rivalry type thing. Allegedly, they was involved in an incident near Valencia, California, or was it Santa Clarita, which are both in the similar area. It was either or, and it was around November of either 2018 or 19, I believe. And allegedly, there was an incident that took place which led Blueface to making a statement claiming to have been robbed. Not only is he active within the statement, Cash Jones and Kim Jones, which is Ho No Hunted and his wife, also made statements in support of the claims that Blueface made of being victimized and robbed that evening. I know everybody holler paperwork, and you would assume or think because of your lack of understanding or knowledge of how things go, if that's so true, why you can't go get the paperwork. It's been so long. Well, unless you are really personally involved with the case and are you aren't privy to certain information until you always say it's public information. That's once a case has been adjudicated throughout the process of the court system and it is closed. Then it becomes public knowledge. While it's still an active, open case, that is not necessarily the truth. And it might not be in best interest for those involved that may perhaps allegedly be on the run based on these statements that were falsely given about them, that have had to alter their whole life and living arrangements and style to avoid prosecution that they are at risk of, because not only did Blueface, but also Cash and Kim Jones made a statement incriminating and implicating someone in a robbery. So at that point, I stopped separating him from holding on 100. It just seems that he has a habitual practice of keeping corny, compromised company. And regardless of how bad a nigga wanted to be down with the with Blueface, because Cuz was a Crip, Cuz all bad. Like, I know the general public don't understand it, overstand it, understand it, because it's not general public knowledge. You see, Ho No Honey is quite vocal about everything you can imagine that is being stated upon the internet that has nothing to do with him, especially the things that are affiliated or related to him directly. However, he has very little to no conversation about the whole Tester stuff, the whole fact that he is in there telling on Tester as well. I'm telling y'all, listen to who talking to you. Facts over everything. I would not tell a lie. That's why that paperwork is boo-boo. When you talking about, when it comes to like this situation of dealing with rats, y'all saying that, just think about it. Because of an alleged suspect being 100% official in survival and perhaps being successful in evading or avoiding contact with law enforcement for a stated period of time where the statute of limitations are gone, now that paperwork perhaps will not become personal knowledge. I know from my own situation, a nigga told on me, and I went to the public defender to get the paperwork. And I didn't expect this. The public defender was hitting me with a gang of questions, trying to figure out, asking me why I needed the paperwork. And I was like, man, I'm looking at a lawsuit toward the I'll forget what cap I gave him, because I was so caught off guard that he was asking me these questions, but I gave him cap to where he went on and granted my request and gave me the paperwork. So if you don't actually go through the courts, and I don't know when it becomes public knowledge, but he gave it to me, but at least until the case is over, it's going to take the person that is being alleged to be a criminal to be efficient enough to avoid contact and capture, and then all of a sudden he don't get no charges or get no time. Now that mean a person who told, if we never are able to access the paperwork, didn't tell, and I know for a fact he told because I have personal knowledge and contact with the individuals allegedly involved, so I know what they are facing, what has been alleged against them. So you telling me now, with my mind and my experience and my encounter and my engagement, I need some paperwork for me to know the nigga told? It's just, that's why that's corny to me, that whole concept. But I say all that to say this. Character speaks for itself. One incident kind of validates why a person appears to, be viewed. Just call that. Check it out. Oh, my mama. That apparently is Cuz Boobay with the one teeth, right? I did say teeth instead of tooth on purpose for those that think I'm stupid. And apparently, that's Rick Ross, the rapper, the biggest boss that you've seen this fall, right there that she posing with. And first of all, I couldn't understand, whatever your investment in this broad is, you can kind of try to represent it one way when you're looking like a clown, and then act like you ain't really with it, but it really is obvious and apparent you got some deep investment outside the business with this broad, because she didn't black your eyes, bust your head open with a bottle, all type of other violations, and you so distressed with the dynamic that exists between you and this broad that you took this broad to a pimp on no jumper on my mama to get checked by a pimp. I don't think cuz realized, like in a pimp brain, as soon as you sat down there in front of Sharp and allowed him to instruct your broad, correct your broad, in his mind, he kept it professional and, industry. But in his mind as a pimp, he just knocked your bitch, bro. You don't bring your broad to a man alone. Even if I was to ever consider couples therapy, it would have to be a female that would be involved. You never, ever, 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 as a man, bring your woman, preacher, pastor, or nobody to another man to get counsel. Anytime, especially in the sense of you a street nigga, fly nigga, rap nigga, you see, everybody sees she a live wire, and you bring her to a pimp to try to get the pimp to get at her and set her straight, and you sitting there, yeah, you hear what he said? You just basically gave her up to the game. Like, if he had, in his natural environment, access at your broad, I'm swear to God, he feel like he knocked your broad, though, right? So, I say that to say this. Do it that picture. I know, I'm aware of the headline. She say she was pregnant. Cuz came out in response talking about, man, you been with 10 niggas that I can confirm within the last year, right? You come out like this about this broad, right? This what blows my mind. I'm gonna put this back up, bro. I could never, ever, ever go out like this goofy about it. Just check him out. Check the exchange out on social media. So apparently, when this picture was posted, this cuz response could never be my BIT, he wrote on social media. But I get it. You new to this for real. So that type of excites you. There's really nothing wrong with it. I'm just a different type near with my B. That's why I told you long time ago, you really don't want that spot. See, you trying to have like a pimp relationship with this broad, talking about I'm a different type Nia with my B, being comfortable having emotional expression publicly to a female, but you referring to her as a B with this new generation terminology, which is so disrespectful. If you feel comfortable having that type of rapport with her, why would you be expressing your emotions publicly, man? You shouldn't be giving a fee nut if she just a B. But hey, however, that's y'all, not me. But yeah, I told you don't really want that spot. But look, is what he now look, and then watch how he'll go forward with her after this. But look how she served him. She got all the game. I don't give a feeny. She got all the game. Look what she said, cause it's like hard not to be her fan, as grimy as she is, and as soft as she made cuz look. Check what she said. She said, he literally got a pic walking past. I don't know why everyone trying to get a pic with me. She just keep it a Google. She be so blunt. I'm not in his face. He literally caught me off guard while I'm waiting for my car with Zeus in them. She wrote, you being weird, bro. Shut the up. Like, for real, stop talking to me sideways. You invited just that jumped me to your birthday and took pictures and let them shake that on you. I'm not sure what you keep trying to act like. Stop talking to me like you dumb. As for real. I'm at the Super Bowl running into people, not even trying to trigger you or seem like a weird Rock then wrote in the caption, I'm really that famous. People go out their way for a pic. It's okay for you to invite an Airbnb and just but woo whatever. Focus on getting the money. She ended up with something like that, right? Bro, we are watching the Jada Pinkett, Will Smith style emasculating of a man right before our eyes on a whole nother generational level. It seems like, I've heard him express his transition from going from rapper to just trying to be successful at being famous or at other ventures. And it seems like the main one he's attempting to ride is her wave. And he is willing to tolerate any and everything in order to be a part of what is apparent that she is experiencing and is about to experience. Those in my inner circle know I've been predicted. She was finna go kaboom. I've been seeing it. And this is another reason why me and others I know have stated, rest in peace to Nip the Crip, I'm not never finna blow no broad up publicly. You're gonna create something that you cannot control indefinitely. I promise. And she is way more gutter, grimy, cutthroat than him. I think he got confused with the perception when she got all them big tattoos all over her neck and all that he was under full control. Bro, you don't take it from me. That is not so. If she was comfortable wearing that big old blotch of a U or whatever, wherever, she'll be comfortable scribbling it out, just having a big old black blotch on her neck. She don't give a f. But she got all the game. She has the future that is more promised with this industry if she just curve her behavior and become more appropriate without being specific about anything. I think we can all agree on that. And at this point, until he generates some other interest, he knows his best bet is to hold on in that, regardless how bad she keep marking him out. How you on here crying about, just think about the impression. It's chestnut checkers. Okay, your heart, whatever, it got triggered. But it's chestnut checkers, bro. You don't just jump every time you see an option to jump. Now you out here on record for the world, not only claiming you running around with a broad that's dogging you, beating you up, and you boo-bayed out with her, and you, according to you, she got ran up in by 10 other males within the last 12 months, so you question the paternity of the child that she claims to be carrying. And now, you out here crying because she took a picture with another celebrity. Do you know a nigga as big as Rick Ross, and I don't mean for our status, I mean actual size, who we seen go through struggle with his health, lose a little weight. Do you know, you see how arrogant he is. You know how you just pumped his head up. You know what him and his homies is saying now, right now, laughing at you about what, do you know what kind of conversation she might be entertaining from him at this moment just because you did that little emotional outburst because she took that picture? You're not in control as you must perceive, because if she don't know the way y'all moving through this industry to the point that that's inappropriate according to you by now, she's never going to know or respect the precedent that you trying to set. It's a lost cause. Quit crying about it, homie. You look bad. You already took her to a pimp to try to get some motherfucking guidance on helping you to control her. You lost in, bro. Oh, mama. Just check this out, bro. He probably worried because she taking a picture with a nigga that let you know I drop a Molly in her drink and she ain't even know it. 619, partner of mine. Appreciate your patience. You live on the line. What's happening?
Bobby, what's happening with you, homie? What's happening with you?
Oh, blessings, abundance in the black box. Gratitude is the attitude. Jita, what's happening with you?
Man, before I even start off all this, man, I got to give you your props, man. And I just got to let everybody know that's listening to this. Watch this man's example of being a father. We on the last show, his daughter called in immediately and said, I needed some help. He shut it down immediately and went and did what he had to do. That is an example of what a man do and what a parent does to be there for their child at all times, regardless of the cost. So I just want to salute you on that, my brother.
I appreciate that, but you know, that's so natural, and I just think that's the way we should just react, because our children are an extension of us. In the same way, if you chopped your motherfucking finger in the kitchen and it started bleeding, and you would run your ass straight to the hospital or to get the back, whatever you got to do. That's me. My kids is me. So if I'm in a position whenever they reach out, it's just like if I hurt myself, I'm going to tend to it immediately. So I appreciate you acknowledging that, but it's natural. I ain't looking for no trophy, but I do want to update y'all because I think it was kind of apparent that she was selling her car and the person was trying to purchase it with a check. So I jumped up immediately going to the situation, telling her we ain't accepting no check. Shout out to my cousin D Slim, because I hadn't spoke to him for a while, but I wasn't far from the location, and by the time I pulled up, he was FaceTiming me, telling me, hey, tell her don't take no check, homie. So he was already watching the show. That made me feel real good. But then when the purchaser pulled up, the quality and newness of the tow truck and the logo and that metal clipboard that has that you could open and put stuff in, and his uniform and the logo on the check and the bit, we took the check. It was a whole, I thought it was like a personal buyer trying to but no, it was an actual company that whoop wop wop, and so we did accept the check. But I appreciate you reminding me of that moment, because I had intended to update y'all on that portion of it. And I also thank you for the compliment, though. Appreciate it.
Man, it's the example, man. You know, and just like you said, it should be natural, but unfortunately, for some people that don't come natural as a parent to do. But since you did that and you showed that, and that's what it's all about. It's about show and proving. You know what I mean? Be the example to show other people what needs to be done and how it should be done. You know what I mean? Just like going into this topic right now, we can talk about with Blueface and his woman and all that. Obviously, somewhere around the line, somebody didn't give him a right example or how he should move when it came to women or his particular woman or a particular situation like that. So it's kind of funny how it all kind of runs full circle on when you be the right example for the other people around you, not even your own kids or either other men and women. That's what you can get out of it. You know what I mean? You get the right thing. But in this particular subject, when we're talking about Blueface and his woman, obviously he didn't have somebody around him to show him how to move right. You see what I'm saying? So it's so important that we as people and as adults and as people that are a little bit older, we be an example, especially when we're in the public eye. You in the public eye doing what you're doing, and you are setting an example, regardless if you want to be or not, but you are, though. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So,
and it's obvious.
So that's this.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
No, it's just obvious that, yeah, he ain't laced up. And I don't, typically get involved in commenting on his antics with the broad. But I can't believe when you realize, do you realize if you just look through Getty Images or just go to Google and you look at celebrities married or whatever, do you see how unavoidable photographs are at public events, how innocent they are perceived throughout the industry? Like, you are expressing or displaying yourself to be way more sprung than sprung. Like, oh, my mama, like, I don't get it. Like, what is the problem? Now, just think about it. If you choose to proceed with her, now, like, she got the control. Like, whenever she ready, all she got to do is take a picture with somebody famous, and now we got a problem. I don't get it, bro.
I mean, that's that celebrity spotlight that people think they want to be in or desire to be in or do whatever they can to be in. And then, sometimes they look at it regardless if it's good or bad news or bad publicity, as long as they're getting that publicity to kind of stay relevant to some type of, degree.
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
And just without being a hater, imagine the scenario minus her for him at the moment. And could you imagine trying to stand on, all right, get on, we through, with the obvious journey that she about to go on, just saying, I don't want no parts in it, and then just having enough discipline and belief and faith in what you got going on to say, this is enough, and I'm gonna let her. He'll keep going through that roller coaster, afraid of not being a part of what the success that is obviously in her future. As long as she don't get off by doing something too reckless, it's obvious she's going to continue to catapult into like fame. There is a lot of lanes that will open up to her because of her toxicity, and she's black, young, female, and appears to be the underdog to a large degree. They applaud all of her toxic behavior to the point where if she's going to have to mature beyond it, But just look at Remy Ma, for example. Beside bars and being a dope MC, she's highly respected for being a felon, aggressive, don't play with me type. So, but she's not perceived to be that way now, on the edge of her seat because she can't because of her record. But she still tries to keep that persona of, I still ain't the one to beef with. And so, in the same spirit, I think once a girl get polished up and show some maturity, she gonna find a lot of lanes opening up for her, and the community is gonna be arms open. The industry, when I say the community, the world in general, females, they're gonna be so armed open for her, especially if she's going through a post situation with him, bro. And I can imagine it'll make him sick. It'll feel like having to swallow your basketball socks after you played 10 games in them in a gym, and they've been sitting in the corner for 2 weeks, and then you gotta just swallow them. No, that's
now think about how common what you're talking about is when you think about maybe like a Will Smith or Dwayne Wade and how they put themselves in particular positions sometimes when it comes to these women.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. It's like I don't know why it's so common, especially for black men, in the industry or in the public eye, to be in that position where, these women seem to, de-emasculate them in whatever way, and it's common. It's pretty much acceptable in the public eye.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, mama, I can't quite put my finger on the source of it either, other than if you look in history, I believe there was a natural in our community sense of patriotic order that just naturally existed due to the fact that provisions and opportunities were more accessible and readily available to the male, and they were able to maintain a certain rapport or dynamic within a relationship with a woman because she still had the natural sense of looking to him as a source of sustenance, someone that she relied upon. She viewed the world as dangerous to an extent that she appreciated the presence of someone that seemed to be a protector. At this point, just think about the culture of calling the police on a dude after an argument and the protection that shows up on their behalf. The whole concept we are taught about how they were incentivized in the 70s to remove the male out of the household to receive government benefits. And then just in general, the different climate within society that where a woman definitely does not need to depend upon a man to be the one to go out and gather provisions. There are so many accessible avenues for women to be just as successful, if not more successful than men. So now the dichotomy of being in a relationship or a situation where a man has the room to express himself or appeal for some type of reciprocity or for you to consider his feelings or his interest to a certain extent, and you naturally feeling compelled to consider his perspective because, hey, this situation that he and I have, I depend on it for my, everything. Now you have to consider, if this is your only car, you have to consider if you're going to leave it on the side of the road when it starts smoking. However, if you have other options, now you don't have to react and respond to this particular individual, person, or situation with the same type of consideration. And I think that we, for a lot of different reasons, have that dynamic amongst us.
People that are melanated, especially the melanated man.
Indeed.
You see what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And you think about the system and how the system is run by certain individuals.
It's crazy.
That is made to benefit certain individuals and
it's
made not to benefit certain individuals.
It's crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
It's crazy you pinpoint the melanated man, and that has been the most prominent one to focus on for the longest. However, the way they celebrate the most raunchiest version of our woman now is noticeable and just as embarrassing too.
But once again, when you think about the people that control that and they want to keep on perpetuating this image of, melanated men and melanated women, and to a certain degree, it starts affecting people to believe that is who we are, you know what I mean? And that's who we are as a people. And then all of a sudden the programming comes in. Now we're programmed to believe this is who we are instead of, why is it they always let a certain type of a man be in the public eye? You see what I'm saying? But if somebody like a Spider gets in the public eye, oh, we can't have him. He too real. He too raw. You see what I'm saying? You don't fit the type of one that they want to have. But there's certain type of people, like some people that we were mentioning earlier. I don't want to repeat their names, but everybody knows who it is. These are the ones that are portrayed to be the ideal, melanated man. This is who you need to be like. This is who you should be. But if you get somebody like yourself, you see what I'm saying?
Give us an example. Who is the guy? Who is the image? Who is the popular go-to image that we got? Who are they pushing on us right now?
You talking about as far as a particular celebrity or just the image in general?
You can name multiples just to give us an idea so we can just get an idea of the style. And it could be anyone in particular. It could be a couple.
I mean, like I said earlier, you got the Dwayne Wade, you got the Will Smiths, you know what I mean? Who else can I think of that's put out there as these are the ones that the ideal man is.
Bro, they got
what I mean? The ideal couples are.
Bro, they got a picture,
That nigga Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, see?
Yep.
See, help me out. I can't even think about them all right now because I'm kind of drawing a blank, but there's so many of them that I can't say that I would look at as a role model or image to be looked up to. But that's who's put out there.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Yes,
what's wrong with Steve Harvey?
What's wrong with Steve Harvey? Steve, look, without being like launching an attack on Steve Harvey, right? There is one moment that I'm not proud of that he presented himself on a public platform having a conversation with Monique. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and his response to the political ramifications that she was dealing with in the industry while trying to refer to her as affectionately as possible as you, my sister and sister, they both were agreeing upon the fact she did nothing wrong. And however, his assessment of how she should proceed in a situation was, this ain't the black game, this ain't the white game, it's the money game. And he was motivating her to be subservient and to compromise integrity in a situation where she felt like, and he seemingly agreed, and others of color in the situation or but had more power, and eventually apologized, at least partially down the line, Tyler Perry being one. I didn't like the position he took with her on that public platform, as humble as she tried to be, and as family as they tried to present their bond. I didn't think he treated her like one would treat a sister in that situation. At what point do we ride on principle regardless of what may come? At what point do we take that type of stance? And I've yet to see Steve Harvey take a stand as such. There's other things I can state about him that I don't appreciate, but that's not what I'm here for. But I can understand why someone would put him on that list.
I had seen this Blue Jay. I had seen we had went in there and hollered at Snoop, and it was Game and Snoop on stage, and I think Steve Harvey was up there, and I think something about a peace treaty, and I kind of seen him in a different type of light. Seemed like he's always involved in bringing unity. Besides that situation right there, Chili, it just seemed like he's about bringing unity.
I salute him for that, because I think like even if we see a history of things that are not applaudable, I think there's very few of us that are beyond redemption if we decide to make better decisions at any point. However, I have a converted spirit on this particular subject. However, I can recall being younger, and Steve Harvey was a syndicated radio personality, and he was one of the only people who would speak out. He was like the Charleston White of the day when it comes to gangster rap. He wasn't as profane because he was on mainstream syndication, but he had basically had a personal one-man campaign that was anti-gangster rap. As he grew in popularity, he seems to have curved his position. But if anyone can recall a time when he was consistently on KJLH, just giving gangster rap in general the blues. Now, when you look at what gangster rap has turned out to be, and when you mature, you probably can't be that mad at him. But I remember at one time, I used to not like him for that in particular, way back.
I mean, just like they say, like who coined the term gangster rap? You know what I mean? What makes it gangster rap? What doesn't make it the reality, a person's reality of their rap?
Right. Well, you know, there's such
You
a...
see what I'm
there's
saying?
such-
So
thing.
they coined that term and they try to turn it in a different way. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I don't even want to get into the semantics of the title of gangster rap. Regardless of what we name it, that type of content that we perceive it to be, it is only an ignorant mind that is going to deny or ignore the effect that it seems to have on our current condition, our mind frame, our vibration as a community. Even my contribution toward it, I still have to be honest enough to realize it is not the soundtrack for success as a people. If you compare our community to other communities and the positive things that we see in them that we would like to mimic, none of those communities have a culture that is based on a soundtrack of destruction of its own people. And beyond the violence, just look at how popular it has become for our female artists to disrespect themselves and also assume the persona. Not only are they being extremely raunchy and ratchet in their records, in the same bar they're being as gangster as the gangster rappers are. We are witnessing something that is definitely can have to go. If you have to consider pros and cons, I think it goes into the bucket of cons. That this is the permeating most popular, only seemingly mainstream option we have to consume to represent us on a large scale. I don't think that it suits us as a people. Well,
sure, you made that plain, cuz. I like how you put that out there, and you even put yourself in it. You know, I could see the growth and development in you, big bro. Keep pushing. And proud of you, homeboy. You know what I mean? And everybody read between the lines. I want to give a shout out to RDL. You know what I mean? Baby Gangster, Big Spider, Fallen Rod, all the real ones in and out. Much love to all y'all, the Wrench Mob, the Black Box. Much love. Father, you know, I'm riding with you, homeboy, man. Just keep pushing that line, man. Proud of y'all.
Appreciate you, Blue Jay. We're going to get to that business on the next episode. Much love. No, my mama.
I got you, man. I sent everything to you. I need the info. I'm gonna send you some couple items, cuz. Is the information down on the screen? Is this something I can use? Send the items to, or what? Are you gonna text it to me?
Yep, that's the information. Yep.
Okay, big bro. I'm gonna get on off here. I'm gonna handle that.
Oh, my mama. Much love. What up, Chili?
What's up, homie?
Chili. I had to just tap in on you. I'm out here by the flat. You feel me? I had just did a load right by Top Golf, you know, from the get down. So I just said, let me hit Chili. I seen Flamed Up, you know, one of our favorite colors when it comes to the get down on how we get down when we get down at. You feel me? So I want to salute that again. You know what I mean? But yeah, I sent you that picture. That's how the flat look out here where we used to be at out here in the marina, like, dude, like.
That's what it do, love one. You know, all right. Much love. Be careful out there. Get your paper, Baymac.
My locomotive, Baymac.
Yeah. That's Eastside Herb, Chili Willie. It's still 619-757. 757. I don't even know if you got a chance to say nothing, man. I don't know everybody voice.
Gratitude is the attitude, though.
Oh,
I was
man.
waiting for my turn respectfully.
I appreciate your patience, man. You've been humbly in the cut, man. That's admirable. Thank you.
Oh, much appreciated. But I'm going to try and be as brief as possible. I've been listening to the conversation up until this point. And one of the things I wanted to add into it was the fact that in the times we're living in now, the things that support our dollar is changing. And that other revenue that's needed to support it, it behooves the government to make sure that consumerism keeps increasing. And one of the best ways to do that is to implant desire and then have us chase after it. And in the pursuit of that desire, if we don't see each other as being necessary to it, then you get, I'm hungry, I'll do whatever's necessary for it. Then all of a sudden, they're looking at you like the rough slab to be carved, to be turned into something that's going to make them revenue, not necessarily you or the people that you came from. So when I look at Blueface and his girl, I look at two confused people who basically told somebody that was higher on the totem pole, I'm hungry. And they was like, we'll feed you if you do what we want you to do. And it just so happens that a stable family spends less money than a chaotic one. A chaotic one got lawyers, judges. A chaotic one got all types of litigation behind it, twice the amount of items because there's two separate places now for a single family that used to be together. So I look at the two of them and I'm thinking to myself, if somebody had given either one or both an idea of their history so that they could hold on to their dignity, then they would make better decisions. It's only because they're unaware or even ignorant about where their people come from, he's
gonna benefit from us being in a progressively emasculated climate as to where
exactly.
Yes, he's not gonna stand the embarrassment that you and I perceive that he is experiencing, because in general the watered down version of a man is more acceptable than the sturdy version that we represent anyway.
Right. There's no back push. There's no resistance. There's acquiescence and compliance.
Oh, that was one of our that was our word of the day, acquiescence, a version of acquiescence.
Bless.
Yeah, last session.
That's what's up. So, you know what I'm saying, these two young people, Moni in the middle, because I'm pretty sure Blueface doesn't have a clue of who Whack 100 be talking to on a regular, or who he's subservient to,
bro.
And how can
you imagine? Can you imagine the moment he's man enough to perhaps treat Whack as his inner core believes Whack deserves? I'm gonna tell you what he really thinks about Whack. Remember this. J-Rock just knocked me out, blood. You remember that famous line being uttered in real time, on camera? Do you remember Blueface's reaction and response and positioning in the aftermath of that? Do you remember where he was at in the footage?
Nah, where was he?
Standing on the side in a bubble coat like a spectator, looking at Cuz like he was a fool. This is the representation of what's really existing between them one to another on the inside. But just the way Whack Hole No 100 operates. What I'm telling y'all about Tester, they got dirt on each other. They like Whack, Blue, man. Just think, remember Blueface, grown ass man, young indeed, but professional artist, Breakfast Club. I don't know who I'm signed to. All I know is Whack.
Right, precisely.
What else can you imagine that? Just look how you see how academics doing him right now.
Terrible.
How can
to have that kind of
how can Whack be cool with academics if we rocking for real? This the industry. This how fickle it is.
After that weirdo picture between him 6ix9ine, I was done with that one.
But I'm just think. Look how disrespectful academics is being toward Blueface, and he has supposedly had this established rapport with Ho No 100. If Ho No 100 had a genuine interest in Blueface's image, how can academics get away with disrespecting your brand like that?
Exactly. And that relationship between Blueface and old girl would have went different.
So if Blueface ain't gonna stand up and be man enough to say, any friend of mine, we share the same enemies, and say whack behind the way he's still cool with academics, how's he gonna be man enough to tell that broad you when she on her way to that big old bag because she's being publicly disrespectful? He seemingly accepts disrespect in all his meaningful relationships, from her, from holding on honey. He don't have no boundaries.
True.
He has no boundaries.
True. And it'll get worse unless he disappears and goes find some conviction somewhere.
No, he know them secrets. He got niggas like Doja, Ray J, and Blueface in these blood contracts, and I don't mean blood like gang. I mean because he know they secrets.
Oh, and about blood, I remember you mentioning it one time. I'd say one of the main things behind that is the fact that it's the river of life in the body. So when you do things with it, you carry on the information of the person whose blood it is. It's almost like a battery for whatever spiritual you're doing. Most times it ends up being twisted because most people use blood magic for twisted reasons, but that's a little side point.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie, I was texting my daughter, so I kind of missed what you was saying, but it was kind of deep, so that wasn't something I could multitask and keep up with. Can you run that back, please?
No problem, fam. Blood magic gets its power from the fact that the blood in the body is the river of life. The fact that it moves, that it conducts electricity, that it carries light, that it carries the information of who you are as a whole. It swims in your blood, just like the river of life in the Bible. The two are directly interrelated. So when you use blood in ritualistic things, it adds that element to whatever the practice is. It just turns out that most of it today is painted as evil. You don't have to worry about blood magic if you wanted to do something spiritual, because you're a spiritual being. But for people who have less faculties in that regard, things like that become appropriate for them.
So why is blood magic or ritual evil except when it's in communion?
Well, that's usually the way that it's perpetrated so that we stay away from it. And it's not necessarily a thing that you want to use. However, it's very powerful because of what the blood carries in it. So if you were a healthy person,
and its implications weren't necessarily originated or always intended for evil or bad either, huh?
No.
Because blood, if you think about it, wait a minute,
wait
a minute, you just threw me on the level. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Please hold your thought. But you just gave me an inspired thought I never thought of about how, because blood is, like you say, it's always painted negative, almost like sex. It's like a bad thing, gory. But it is the most essential substance, liquid, that we are aware of. It is more of a positive than it is being portrayed to us. It has this reputation of being the shit you see at the terrible moments. But they never look at blood in a celebrated sense of the motherfucking life source that keeps everything running. This is the first time I ever looked at blood like that. They probably look at it like that at the blood banks. Outside of that, we always look at blood as something like instead of ooh. That's deep.
True.
Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Right. So there's crystalline matrices in the blood, which just means crystalline pyramidal structures inside of that torsion field that's created by each blood cell. So when blood moves and the electric and magnetic field that it carries, all of that is information about not just that person, but what that person has experienced their entire life up to that point, and the strongest emotions that come into it.
So did you accidentally exclude, or does it not include the experiences of their ancestors as well?
Oh, it includes the experiences of the ancestors, but only residually. You'll be better off going to something like bone marrow or the medulla oblongata in the back of the brain, one of the melanin centers, places like this. That's why you get all these, legends about vampires taken from other people to replace what they lack in themselves.
Is it symbolic that the vampires are extremely pale in the conversation of blood and melanin in their pursuit for that substance?
Oh yeah. As you see, you got a bunch of different times where the human family got affected negatively by the environment as it's degraded. So the way we looked 4 million years ago, we're terrified now. But the difference is because the atmosphere has changed.
You no doubt have to be familiar with Bobby Hemmett and Jamal Rashad.
Oh yeah, that's why I called in to, shed some light on it.
I so appreciate your perspective, because it's reminiscent of things that I have received from them. It's slightly a more layman's term. So please continue to build. I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, much appreciated, family. Now, one of the things that Bobby Hemmett talked about was the fact that, when blood was used in ritual, a person had to do a whole bunch of stuff before that just to prepare, or else some of their idiosyncrasies, some of the things that were clashing in their own nature goes into it. So if you have a person with mental issues trying to use blood magic, the chaos in them becomes the chaos in whatever they're trying to do, and it gets spoiled. So you used to have people who would chant. They would make symbols and meditate over those for months at a time, just to push out all the negativity and do something with some purity in it. But we got warned way back at the turn of the century that any environment where people ain't thinking right is toxic to that kind of magic. It's much better if the magic that you did was about yourself, the things that you wanted to improve on, cultivate, or change, or grow inside of yourself, not necessarily trying to get somebody to do something. So all of those women that were putting blood and spaghetti to get the man to fall in love with them, they basically gave him all of their emotional pulls and compression. So the man will go crazy because now he has all this feminine emotion, but confused on what to do with it.
I'm familiar with that traditional story, wise tale. I never knew how much credence to put in it, but give me a perspective of the amount that they are suggesting goes into. Is it like just a drop or a spoonful, or is it a certain amount of cups or ounces? How much are they suggesting perhaps maybe put into some spaghetti? I'm curious, extremely.
Yeah, sure. Anywhere from a few drops to an ounce, but they would add other things in it, like seasonings that have a lasting benefit. Because what ends up happening is those blood cells travel through the body, but also get into the bone marrow, and they're transferring information that didn't come from the person originally. So it's like a short in the matrix. You're taking on somebody else's emotional weight through their blood into you. That's why the person falls in love with them. There's this desire from that blood connection. Now, somebody that's aware that this is going on can thwart this simply by flushing out, drinking more water, staying isolated, reminding themselves that they were attacked and that it's not a natural thought process in them.
Man, I had no idea.
So even though it's powerful, a lot of its power comes from ignorance or the other person being unaware of what's happening to them.
It seems that that's the case with a lot of the elements of the non-physical. that the access to
That's true.
or the effect has a lot to do with your perception of it, or your non-perception, your
Mhm.
awareness, or your lack thereof.
That's true.
That's deep.
So it's not that these magics were, evil in and of themselves. They're just potent. So if you do a ritual and you got the wrong mindset, it'll still produce results because you put that into motion yourself. It's no different than your thoughts. It's just more powerful. It's the difference between yelling into the wind and using a whole PA system to talk.
It's so hard for me not to reflect on the reality of how physical our society is, the way that it's designed for us to engage in everything non-natural, from what we eat to this paper, for this paper money. We have this passion for chasing, to being entertained by things that they design, by tools. We have no promotion or no natural sense of staying in touch with nature outside of a infatuation with the beach, I can imagine. There's a small or a particular core of people that like to hike and go in nature. But as far as what's promoted by the general mainstream society outside of the beach, I don't see nature being something that we have any interest in, or we are put in what I really like to consider an aquarium, and they they only put so much algae and seaweed in that aquarium. It's not what is naturally accessible to someone in their natural and that's probably why we're so detached from a lot of the energies that you're describing. I didn't mean to cut you off to the other
No. That was accurate. Go ahead, fam.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say it's interesting when we talk about energies in the human body, right? And they talk about different things like your intent with your energies. I remember people talking about, I know people that say they ingest mushrooms, and they said even if you're going to ingest the mushrooms, the person that actually produced or grown the mushrooms, their energy can be, transferred to it as well, right? So when people are talking about spiritual aspects and religious aspects, or even God, and we think about the energy, and I always look at it as we are gods, not a God above us, but we are gods. We just don't understand the strength that we have within ourselves and what we can do. Some people call it concentration, others may call it prayer, but at the end of the day, you have these energy inside. You have this capability that's godlike in some people's minds. But when we don't think about that in that aspect, and they tell us not to think about that because, we start talking about stuff like that, that's considered either magic or voodoo or evil or whatever. So they want to subdue the knowledge that we have of ourselves and understanding how powerful we are as people and our energies. Just like when we say people die, the energy just transfers, right? It never really dies.
Right,
but that's the energy that we have, but we just we're not able to accept that because society doesn't want us to believe that or accept that because we'll start getting the true sense of our I'm sorry, go ahead.
I try so hard to imagine. Come on. I try so hard to imagine what that would perhaps be like on the other side of this physical existence. I'm been so indoctrinated with what I've been told that the dead know not nothing and all that it is impossible for my brain to imagine the potential possibility of what this physical body being over with, but yet still existing in a consciousness and just being the energy. Is like, if I could really realize that as a reality, the whatever fear of the unknown of death probably would flee.
It'll clear up a few things. We were supposed to go through a period where our attachment to the divine was cut off so that we could know that part. Part of the struggle that we go through today is the formative struggle, like breaking out of the egg or breaking out of the yolk. If you take away that act of breaking out, then the birth would falter and the strength wouldn't be there, because that first initial burst out of it is important for the growth. So there's a bunch of things that were suppressed in us And the spiritual intent over generations was to use that as the challenge to grow. So, Spider Loc, all of your life experiences matter for that reason. And the mere fact that you're even thinking about the other side and what you would want to see there is all important. All important. The way that you relate to the people that you care about, all of that.
So what about the fact when they say that we only use a certain amount of our brain, and if we thought about if we were able to use the full capacity of our brain, how much more we'll be able to understand and overstand, just like what you're explaining right now?
Yeah, and there's Bobby Hemmett speaks profoundly about what happens when we recover parts of that. They've got old legends about what happens, talking about that we'll come online and there'll be no shadows anywhere because we would be glowing with light, all kinds of things. But the mere fact that parts of it are a mystery give us the chance to strive towards something.
Indeed.
In the hopes that we're right.
Indeed.
And even for the things that we have to change when we find what the reality is, that revelation is going to be the thing that makes that new thing that has never been yet. And that's why your experiences are so important.
That's
because,
why.
So what about when
Go ahead.
When you catch little taps and little specks of it, like the Spider talk about certain intuition, certain feelings that you have. Certain people are empaths. When you just have a certain feeling, is that probably a little bit of just touching into that actual power that we have, but we just don't know exactly how to use it? You know what I mean? When something just say, I just knew it was something about that person. It was something about, and we kind of run away from that, but it's actually kind of taking us toward who we really are and what we're really capable of. You see what I'm saying?
True. And you'll be surprised how many of the old spiritual systems are specifically focused on pineal activation.
Talk.
Specifically.
That is
all that drink this, exercise this way, don't eat that, meditate on this, pineal activation.
That is very interesting. I had no idea this was going to be the destination that our conversation ended up in, but I am extremely pleased to have gone on this journey with you this morning. I want to add another caller if you guys, gentlemen, don't mind. We got somebody
Gratitude
else
is the
tapping
attitude.
in. Jeter, man, you blessed my spirit, my brain, my thought process deeply this morning. Hold on. 317, you on the line with me and mine. What's happening?
I just wanted to say one more thing. He said something about a mushroom. Can you bring that back up, homie? About a mushroom? He said something about a mushroom.
Okay.
I said something about a mushroom because I don't know a whole lot about it, but when I was talking to somebody about people when they take mushrooms and the psychedelic effect it has, he was telling me that before you even try it, make sure you know who you're getting it from, because their energies can be transferred by from actually growing the mushroom and you taking it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what just had me thinking about the energies that we have that we transfer in different ways, whether it be through the blood or whether it just be through actual energies through that actual mushroom.
That sounds like a principle.
That
sounds like a principle that would not be unique to mushrooms. In a sense, I swear to God, I seen a dude. I don't know if y'all know who the Truth is. Internet character, personality, kind of popular. All right. I just seen a clip of this nigga selling combs. He is openly admitting that they're $3 combs. Yet he's selling them for $50. And his explanation as to why they're worth $50 is because they have his aura on them. He's touched them. He's inspirational. And that's what make the $3 comb worth $50. And I don't give if you don't resonate with what I'm saying. But it was all about the energy he claimed to be transferring to these combs. So it's interesting that we are having this dialogue, because I just saw that from him like yesterday or something.
But if you took that comb, would you be able to experience the things that you would experience from actually taking a mushroom? You see me? Because people actually say when they take mushrooms, they do have some kind of different experiences. Now, do we take that cone? You just take it, there's nothing there, or do you take it and do you feel like a more of an out of body experience, like they say with the mushrooms?
No, but right now, the only reason we're even considering who touched the mushrooms is because somebody mentioned it. Anyone who has experimented with mushrooms, which I have, you go through the whole process without thinking about who has touched them priorly. So all I'm saying is, even if you are affected by their touch, there is no way for you to just intelligently be aware of that unless somebody points it out. You're going through the trip that the mushrooms have given you. So the same thing with the comb. If the energy transfer true or not, I don't know how you would be able to confirm it or prove it, but the evidence is only in the belief of the person who actually believes it, I believe, because who can ever confirm that, you took them mushrooms, you got his energy? Where could we ever come to that conclusion? How? In what circumstance?
Well, I don't think it's like getting that actually getting their energy in that aspect, but getting the energy of a person, because basically the way he was breaking it down, the way I was kind of understanding it, was that if this person doesn't have a good energy about themselves, and all of a sudden some of that negative energy will get transferred over to you when they take it. Not that you actually taking in their actual energy, but some of the negative parts about them. That's why I kind of understood it. I never even tried it before, but I was just listening to
it could be negative or positive.
I was hoping,
it depends on the intent of the person, but you will get like.
I was hoping you. I was hoping. I'm glad you said that, because I was wondering, does that necessarily translate to positive? And what came to my mind was a biblical story of Elijah and Elisha, and upon Elisha ascending to heaven, according to the Bible, he left his cloak with Elijah as a simple symbol of something physical that was leaving an energy that he possessed. And that cloak was like a symbol of an energy, just like we know there was no actual energy possessed, or even it was not even suggested that there was energy in Samson's hair, but there was a ideal that there was an energy that he lost once his hair was gone. So I can see that concept in society in a lot of different perspectives.
Right.
I brought up the mushroom.
Yeah.
My bad. I brought up the mushroom because they got a mushroom called chaga. I take that and make an extract out of it. It's called chaga dual extraction. I take the alcohol, let it marinate for a couple months. I extract it, then I boil the rest of it. Then I take the water version and the extract, and I combine them. It's called dual extraction. It's a chaga mushroom that grows on a birch tree, like in cold waters, like in Russia and Alaska. It only grows right in the cold. So this mushroom, it grows on this birch tree, and when the tree is dying, all the life and all the energy goes to this tumor. It's not a mushroom, they call it that, but it's like a tumor, and all the life go into this tumor. So what I do is, since I have a disability, I take like substances like that to maintain strong and maintain my strength. So that's why I brought up the mushroom.
I feel you, fam.
So does it have a psychedelic?
What kind of effect?
Does it have a psychedelic effect?
Nope. It just it's a healing, just to build your immune system up. It's makes you strong, spider low.
Okay.
So you feel like it's helping you though?
Yeah. I'm just, matter of fact, I've been taking it today. I take it every hour. I take a little sip and put some chlorophyll in it. I take it every hour, then I take a little cranberry juice with it. That's why when you said mushroom, I had to jump back online because I jumped off, appreciating the black box. Then when you said mushroom, I had to jump back online because, he tapped me back in. So I just wanted to kind of elaborate a little bit on that, because mushrooms, they surround us. It's all in nature. And when Spider was talking about, chasing the dollar bills, and sometimes, we appreciate the ocean, but nature is what we need to be connected to, because we come from that. That we are nature. You feel me? And when you're talking about the blood and all that, look at your hands. They're like leaves. You know what I mean? And man, it's deep, bro. And I'm glad we having these dialogues, because It's about growth, bro. It's time to grow up out of that ignorance that we was in, and it's time to become kings and queens that we such are innate. You feel me? It's time to manifest these things, cuz, and take care of these babies and unite and quit all that goofy shit like with the colors and all that. The way your hat turned and where you from, all that weird shit, and just come on and unite and build these kingdoms. This is Blue Jay.
Yeah, but Blue Jay, that's what we've been saying to the masses for the longest, from like a preaching standpoint. What I like what the gentleman said earlier was, in these times, our responsibility is more to correct those flaws within ourselves. And as individuals focus on themselves, we would then start growing in numbers of a more pure version of what we want to see. But to get hoarse, announcing it to the masses what needs to be done seems to be almost futile, useless. The most effective way to bring about some of that change is to try to work it out within ourselves.
Most perfect way. But when we having a cipher and we having a dialogue, it's just a subject matter to bring up, and you can take from it for what you can. That's all, big bro.
No, but we definitely need brothers like yourself to master, delivering it to an audience.
No, definitely, because you know what? That's a personal approach. That and I apologize because I said it last session or a session before and before. It's a personal approach I attempt to take to discussing what I deem to be positive information. I want to be less of suggesting that you or we or they should, and more expressive that I believe is best for me. And even when I share my experience, I don't want to be like
90 seconds.
Hey, it's a good idea for you to take these steps. I would choose better to come from the perspective of, hey, these are the steps that I took and they have been successful for me. And I want to maintain that mind frame. So no, I don't want to suggest that you not put the message out in that spirit. That's just the position I attempt to take, and that's why when he said what he said, it resonated with me personally. So I apologize. I didn't mean to put you in correction.
60 seconds.
Love you, bro.
No. It's much needed. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Man, it's building. This is what we doing. We building right here,
Because guess what?
Yeah.
When a quarterback gets the ball and he throws it forward, it's cool. But if then the wide receiver chooses to do the same thing, it's not cool. Everybody does not have the same rules when we out here moving as a team to get this goal accomplished. So you can't look at what somebody else is necessarily doing, comfortable doing, and try to gauge what your assignment is by that, or try to gauge their assignment by your assignment. That's why what you said resonated so much. I am challenging myself to stay focused on my assignment. And when I come before the public, be more mindful to be sharing my assignment versus trying to prescribe or dictate assignments to others. That's me personally.
Some of the biggest proponents of the conscious community for our folks have been touting that message for the last 5 decades.
Bro.
And every now and again it gets lost because the need to put something in our stomach has us pursuing the bag. So a lot of times the conscious brothers, especially in the 90s and the early 2000s, we used the battle rap motif in order to debate, but it started to foment a certain type of resentment when both sides would come in feeling that they were right and leave with feeling that they won, rather than bringing all the information together and fellowship.
Because we all have we have all something to bring to the table.
So do you think that there could have been?
Absolutely.
Do you think there could have been an individual involved or a spirit involved that could have guided those same activities to be more productive and maintain that spirit? What do you think was lacking that caused it to get off course? Was it just simply ego, or was there a lack of structure and guidance? What was lacking that wasn't a healthy experience versus a detrimental one to our culture? Because it seemed like coming together intellectually to put it all out on the table could benefit us if each and every one practice what we practice here, facts over feelings, and let's try to get to the bottom line of what's best to all of us as a unit. So what was it in your assessment that took place that caused these efforts not to come out on the side of productivity?
Well, the first thing is that our history was broken. So usually when you have, places where you discuss these spiritual matters and grow spiritually, there's an archive of what we understand, from a wisdom standpoint that could be used to organize that and give it some structure. And because we didn't have a reward and punishment system behind how we brought people in from the street level into a quiet environment for that type of study, what ended up happening as soon as they had enough epiphanies to be able to say, oh, okay, well, this is like this and this is like that. I remember hustling like this. I can use this and flip. So you had a lot of people that would take the Bobby Hemmer tapes and the Dr. Valentine's tapes and basically rehash, remix them, and flood them back out to the market.
You know what
and
you just gave
that
me?
Undercut.
You gave me the image of an extremely efficient, intelligent individual in putting puzzles together and being faced with a very challenging puzzle, and he has it partially completed, but there's just simply not enough pieces present for him to get it done. And that's kind of like the picture you painted.
That was the frustration.
Yes. That's what I see.
When you look at Brother Polite and that whole rundown, you'll see in the interviews he admits that there was, a lack of pride when he saw other groups and other communities inside of New York proper getting along with their spiritual information and building. He was so eager to build that the crowd pushed him up to a higher height than he was ready to really take on, in my opinion.
I hate the fact that the Umars, the Polites, the Pharaohs, and not him, and I'm gonna count him out, class of his own, but the Jamals are not a unified energy, even the Islams. I wish all that energy could find some cohesiveness as they express what they express, even with their differences. I think that their message would be a lot more potent and effective if they could just find a way to unify, because they are, at least from a vocal standpoint and a visual standpoint, at least as orators, they are the upper echelon of what we have for our culture, especially that this is not a extremely studious or academic generation. They are at the top of what we have to learn and feed from to find out our actual position economically, historically. Fuck judging each person's character, nitpicking, trying to break down every decision they made. I'm talking about the amount of information that they have stored within themselves and that they can articulate, share, and assimilate throughout our community that is beneficial to us as a community. No one could deny that about either of those individuals.
That's true.
It kind of comes back to what they say, having a common goal, but having a different way of getting to that common goal and having a different opinion on how to get there, but not shutting this person down, because if everybody has the same goal and they just getting there differently, how can we all just come together and respect that? Okay, your way of doing it is like this, my way of doing it like that, but at the end result, it's all going to be the same destination.
And when you're talking about...
saying, no, if we don't do it this way, it's not right.
And we're talking about...
Almost like, it's like religion. You know what I mean? Everybody got a different way of looking at religion, but everybody has the same end goal, right?
And we're talking about unifying millions or billions and all the uniqueness that exists amongst us. It makes more sense that there would be separation to some degree and fashions and different sections that kind of agree and assimilate around certain pertinent issues, but it seems like we would be mature enough, and if survival is the first rule of nature, we would realize it was pertinent to our survival enough that we would be wise enough to set those differences aside, come together on the things that we can agree that are most beneficial toward us. But you know what I realize? It's almost in a sense of a suicidal state. We don't have this sense of survival that is communal amongst us. And Bobby Hemmitt kind of discusses who's the fool. The person that is keep hollering at the zombie to try to get on what you on, or the zombie that doesn't even realize that it's a zombie. If you realize you're talking to somebody that is spiritually dead, and I'm not talking about in the religious sense, but in the sense that we have been discussing, why be foolish enough to keep talking to someone who does not? That's like talking to someone who does not speak English, and you're just going louder and louder and hollering more and more. It's not, who is the fool? The person that does not understand you, or the person that does not accept that you don't understand them? So that's why I was trying to, I kind of got corrective with the homie unintentionally, is because I try to remind myself, you will go crazy trying to preach this. The Bible describes them as dry bones, to try to preach a message that has so much life, and it translates from life energy to energy. But you wanted to resurrect the dead, and that's not necessarily your call. Is you can't quite give life, but you perhaps can share it. And if there is no life there to share a larger portion of life with, it might not be your call whether you can reignite the life that once was there. So don't get too frustrated trying to share this message because it feeds your soul. I'm talking to myself now, because it makes you feel so good. It frees you from other chains you once had. Don't get so excited and caught up in it that you try to force it down someone. It reminds me of right now, my 3-year-old granddaughter, and she's coughing, and I see it's disturbing her sleep, and I say, you want to take some medicine? No medicine, no. And you got to fight her to get the best thing down her throat for her. And that's the frustration I get. Like, why she don't just get this to make you, I said, it's going to make you feel better. No, feel better. And she's so confused. And I don't get frustrated with her to the extent you get frustrated with grown adults that are even far. Yeah, you got to accept it sometime and just walk in your reality and trust the same energy that you give credit to awakening you and being compassionate with you to allow you to get to the point will also be effective enough to get those that deserve to experience it too. It's not our call.
Excellent. They have a saying where, you eat the fish,
throw out the bones,
and spit out the bones. And I believe we all have that. See, you didn't build this black box up, and the people that's on the call, we on here for a reason. I don't think we on here to compete. I think we all on here to take from each other, and then when we get off of here, we can utilize that in our daily lives. And I think that's what this is about. It's not trying to force feed this, that, upon somebody else. Is that okay? I'm listening to bro. Bro said something about mushrooms. I'm gonna take that. Then I elaborated on it. Okay, I do this and that about the mushrooms.
I'm gonna do it right now to make my point. I'm gonna do it right now to make my point. I swear, from my floating through YouTube and other platforms, just checking out content and different people that come together as a unit and move around, I have not seen a platform that consistently, continuously, constantly allows strangers to occupy the line at the same time without clashing or over talking or per people. We naturally have an environment where people who have never spoken one with another get on these lines and respect one another's talk time, opinions, and perspective. We don't get caught up in a whole bunch of back and forth arguments. Disagreements are very respectful. Everyone seems to be more invested with sharing than, trying to be right. And we come with a spirit of trying to learn. So I really appreciate nobody in particular, but each and every one of you guys who help bring that energy here, because it helps keeps me grounded in what I would prefer to do versus sit here and kiki and bullshit all the time. Without you guys, I would not have the comfort to continue to stay on this type of energy. So I appreciate and applaud y'all.
It's the vibe and energy that you bring into the. Yeah, it's the vibe and energy that you bring from this. And I said before, the black box is changing. It's elevating to a point where the audience is going to be coming on a whole different platform on something that's bigger. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, speaking into existence. Thank you, brethren. On my mama, I believe that. That's facts over feelings.
We thank you, Spider. For just being a solid individual. Facts over feelings.
No doubt.
yeah, you started, and we kind of jump on board. You feel me? But you have to start it.
Well, this what we going. This what we gonna do, y'all.
With all what happened, you the perfect person.
Hey man,
and just being open into the conversation. You open to the conversation. Some people will shut it down. Oh, that's not what I do here. Nah, you've been open to everybody coming in and just helping to elevate it.
No,
you know what I mean?
y'all don't understand. Y'all why y'all think I need to be open to it. Y'all don't realize y'all fell for my trap. That's what I want to be about in the first place. I can't believe it's like, damn. Oh, my father used to always tell us, we used to call ourselves running around jacking and robbing and all that. He was like, man, I don't understand, man. My daddy a big old intimidating dude. He was like, man, I used to get shit from people, but the way I used to get it from them, they used to thank me while I was taking it. So, why y'all, you feel me? Like, blah, 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 because this is what I wanted. This is the type of dialogue I would have liked to establish from day one and maintain. And for me to be able to start realizing it, and for you to think that it's something that for me to appreciate from y'all, man, shit, this is what I really would prefer to be on. This is what actually constitutes the majority of my conversations outside of the public. I don't give a fuck about what's going on in the media, mainstream, industry, entertainment. I only get caught up in that because we be on here. Outside of this, that type of content occupies very little to none of my conversation or time. On my mama, I have no interest in what nobody got going on. I don't care. I have plenty going on in my own personal life. I swear to God, we have come to the time, though, that we call last word. So I'm going to allow y'all, the three of y'all, to work it out amongst y'all who'll go first, second, and third. And then it'll be me. I appreciate y'all.
I go last. Blue Jay go last.
Fair enough. Well, Val, you know what I'm saying? With everything you said, it's important to note that all of your history up until this point is the most important thing. It's a precious catalog of experiences that translate these complex ideas down into something that we can all diddy bop to and feel better about at the end of the day. So, I applaud you for expanding your vocabulary. I applaud you for challenging new concepts.
Thank you.
I applaud you for being open to all of this.
Thank you. And we
gotta much appreciated,
big
homie.
Thank you. And we got to remember, we do not shove whole apples down babies' throats. We give them applesauce and we allow them to bite on it at their pace. That's what I was trying to say earlier, Blue Jay. But I appreciate you, loved one. Please, what's your name? And I don't want you to make this your last time calling. We need you around here. What's your name?
I'm the Artful Sage, fam.
Artful Sage. I like that. Say less, man. I appreciate you. Much love.
Blessed to the whole family. I'll be around.
Amen, Jeter.
Yep.
619. I think it's you next, since Blue Jay just bogarted the last spot.
Man, what's up, man? It's Tone from 619, man.
What up, Tone?
As always, man, it's always about the positivity that I always like to bring to the show. But like I always say, man, every time I come on here, I always learn something. You know what I mean? I always catch something. I always get something to take with me from this. But one of the things that I think I got from this show the most was the fact that allow yourself to build with others and to be humble enough to not want to feel like there's a right or a wrong way to do it. You see what I'm saying? Like, everybody on here taught me something today. Everybody on here allowed me to listen and to learn something else. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the example we got to put out there for people when we have, I don't even call it debates, just discussions and building. You know what I mean? This is what we did right now. We built, we listened, you know what I mean? And we learned. And when you do it like that, I think we become better as a people as being able to get to where we need to get to, because we got a long way to go, but we definitely getting there. And conversations like this are just opening our minds up to not be stuck in this bubble of the way we were taught to think and to believe.
I indeed agree, and in the spirit to just confirm and agree with what you said, to add on, when the promise is biblical, y'all, I apologize if y'all just don't fuck with the Bible at all, but it's one of my sources of inspiration and information. But let me
take it all.
All right?
I take it all.
When the story, as the story is told, when the children of Israel left Egypt, it took them 40 years and 40 years to get to their destination. And none of the people that actually left or exited Egypt actually got to the destination, which was the promised land. So throughout the process of arriving in the wilderness, going through all the trials and tribulations, the people who believed the promise and received it and actually exited Egypt, it was their offspring. They had all died out by the time the promised people landed there. So in the spirit of what you said is, we got a long way to go, and we might have to realize in the actual realization of the actual finish line, it might not even be for us, and we still have to be as committed as the children of Israel were. And it took them, if you go through the story and get familiar with it, it's not like they just went through it 40 years and they did it. The reason why it took them 40 years versus then less than a year is because they were just a hard to assimilate people similar to us. They just couldn't seem to get it right according to the story. So I can really resonate with what you expressed. I appreciate that.
All the time, and the seed has been planted, and it's going to be funny because when somebody look at the title of this video and listen to it, they're going to get something totally different than what the title talking about. But that's all right, though. That's the medicine going in.
Hey, look, there you go. We're going to develop that reputation around here. For anybody that's what's going to end up happening. They're going to start going through that hard outside shell, that sweet blow pop, and then the inside it's going to be chewy, hard gum that don't go nowhere. Yeah.
The medicine, the knowledge.
There you go. I appreciate it.
You know what I mean? We just going to say, can we get a term around here? Can we just start sometimes just saying, that's deep? Because when we say that's deep, that's just what we going with it. We just going deep with it.
I'm with that, but this is all I want to ask you to do, because this is what I learned, like how they say, period. It used to be you giving these kind of vibes, now it's just giving. We just going to go straight to deep and just take the that's off. Deep.
There you go.
Deep.
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 Yeah, I like that.
Salute,
good looking. Salute.
Salute, my brother.
Right on, Tone. All
Salute,
peace.
homie.
Day Uno, Blue
I just
Jay,
want to say
man.
thank you, Spider Low,
break your bread, Blue Jay.
for allowing me to get on here, cuz, and have a voice, have an outlet. They say energy is neither created nor destroyed. So I want to shed some light on the Keyway Christ. When he got assassinated, I was on Crenshaw and Slauson. There was a whole bunch of people around. And once I got around there to light my candle, cuz I promise you, you can feel the energy up in the air. It's like, it was like I want to say like a cloud. It wasn't a visual, but you can feel it. It's like I don't know if it was the love of the people that was there, or was that his energy that was there. And that's deep.
His
so
energy was not only there, but his energy was also present within everyone there. That's the only time I have witnessed the energy of a human possess the entire world. That's the only way I could describe it. I can remember being there all my life. I felt like I'm worshiping the devil to even consider the thought of praying to anyone other than God, Jesus. However, when I got to that same location, there was the crowd, police, all that. I kneeled down in that parking lot, and without any prompting, I prayed to Nipsey. And since then, rest in peace, Young Flo, Lantana Flo, L7 for death, though. When I went to his wake, his mother, Mama Pat, asked me to pray in front of everybody, put me on the spot. And I don't know, I prayed to Flo. It's just I have a natural, different perspective on my approach to even prayer. So, and that is a blasphemous concept if you consider the way I was raised and indoctrinated all my life. But I feel, even though I feel the freedom to express myself in that fashion, deep in my soul, I still feel like a fear. That's how deep being indoctrinated is. But yeah, go ahead, Blue Jay.
Yeah, just Spider, you growing, homie, and I appreciate that. And it ain't nothing but love on my behalf. I wanna say thank you to everybody that's in the Wrench Mob. I want to give a shout out to RDL.
Wrench
What's up, my
Mob,
local?
love y'all, all y'all. I know I don't shout y'all out as much as I used to. I'm gonna have to get me like a whiteboard with some repetitive thoughts that I want to run over. Like, don't get mad, get money, facts over feelings, Google gang, Baymac Streetwear, Jeter, gratitude is the attitude on my mama, bottom line. As you can imagine, I'm looking at that, y'all. But yeah, so the Blue Rich Mob, the Google gang, all that, much love, Real Near Radio, Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. Appreciate you, Blue Jay. If you got one last word, go ahead. Other than that, it's on me. Say less.
Let's say less.
Much love. Bet. Hey, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all who have attended my session for any moment of your day today. If you're watching it on a replay, just want to say I appreciate y'all. And my only request for y'all as we leave is that y'all make sure y'all keep it facts over feelings and be about your marathon, your metamorphosis, your maturity, your mission at all costs. Baymac, they're my last words. This is my Don declaration, define expectations, inspired to aspire to higher elevation. Started at Genesis, read the entire Revelation, dedication, meditation, and some fire medication. Judge a prophet and a poet, both body reputation, fanatically practice. Perfection requires preparation. I go hard, like this could be the last chance. Romance the spotlight, treat it like the last dance. May I remind, inclined to go overboard over mine. But tonight I'm on this open mic with an open mind. Always try, let it fly, ain't care where it fell. Never say goodbye, but we'll tell her farewell. You ain't heard, I ain't word, I ain't scared. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I ain't word, I ain't scared, you ain't heard. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. And just so y'all know for sure that I'm serious, y'all can put this right before the period. She slipped the digits, I hit her with a digi-card. She came to visit, hit it hard by the mini bar. I made her roar like the engine in my Hemi-car. Way before she came to listen to my seminar. Every time I'm done, she always want more. Keep a contour in her back for the encore. I paint a picture like we was playing Pictionary with perfect diction. I take you through the dictionary, y'all can have an introduction and an intermission. They finna listen for it's finished, just a benediction. You ain't heard, I ain't word, I ain't scared. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I ain't word, I ain't scared, you ain't heard. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I used to tell my testimony to the whole church. Now I stepped into the cipher once I soul search. Visualize the pain I'm bearing when it's verbalized. No more rehearsal, now you're staring in my herbal eyes. Turned them on, they all turned around, returned to lies. Despise this truth that I eternally internalized. I hate her, laugh now, cry later. Why hate a player when I'm just getting my paper? Your dialogue, that's a lot of lies to digest. Until I die, I guess I'ma have to digress. Chase the pay like she the one that got away. Remy shot a day, that's all I really gotta say. You ain't heard, I ain't word, I ain't scared. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I ain't word, I ain't scared, you ain't heard. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. Stupid, he a retard. Spider Low got A's on his G card. Bigfoot go hard with no regard. He like me, he did time on a 3-yard. I'm stuck on scrapes, I pipe resats. In the projects with scrap pipe and D-Mac. Colombo Black in the back of the Maybach. Kill the track and push crack with payback. They stole my foes, I came back on 6s. That's the way I rose, Baymac on bitches. I'm in a 5-star with 2 king double beds. With 2 bad bitches doing the bobblehead. They stuck on the fact I still got Chucks on. Gone on the size of the rims that my truck on. Get my fuck on, let them suck on something. Let Buck bone and get the fuck on. Got a deal, but feel I need $1 million bill to borrow. That's on the real, just until tomorrow. He say, she say, BKCK. Groove on my C-Day, holla at a keyway. I got weight on me, the game won't wait on me. I'm on a plane with a whole gang of weight on me. When I was young, we played pick a team catch. Now I'm spending money on a nicotine patch. Don't front the flow, it's getting comfortable. I know I'm the one you really ain't want to blow. I'm the shit, give counterfeits fit. I'm legit and I'ma get what I come to get. You just wanna shine, you don't wanna grind. It's beautiful on mine, you the one that's blind. And I ain't the one to open your eyelids. Quit lying, you ain't poking his eyelids.
$1, never touch Uno, he about his Prada. I stay up for the dough, can't lay up with a hoe. No, 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 no. It's quick moves like a quarterback sneak. The whole team listen when the quarterback speak. He knows by the low, Baymac on the road, making major dough.
This is J.P. Banks Music.
When you're sticking to the script, it's a lonely road. Before they left the hole and tanked the big homie told. He know the way this testimony hold. On that low 4, they gon' politic on him cold. SPI Bank EC for really though. Used to really go, ask my nigga Chili Mo. Had a cold gun game, crazy knuckle up. Bust on enemies with baby double up. Back and forth with the main streets on 98. Q9 cell, me and Lil Johnny Ray. Posted up on Coden with a big ratchet. Way before Lil Wayne threw on that snitch jacket. Walked the yard with Slim Bag, what up Big Drac? Gave them back they L cause you did that. Love my lokes even if we don't interact. Lil Mont, Baby Psych and Lil Black. EC. 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 97th Street, smack dead in the Middle East. Fuck the police for King Ron and Lil Reese. Tell the truth, SP3 never lack rhymes. Sometimes feel I might die behind my rap lines. We ain't in Malibu now, we in Maui. Baby Pie, EC, Bear, me and Wowie. Dico, Kiko, EC Red. Still can't believe Frankie and CC dead. Come to putting in work. Did more than a little dirt. Airbrush shirt. Big Milk, Lil Merc, Lil Box, Baby Ant, both souls, all the coops. First Street to 24 when we call the troops. Lost a legend when we buried Bub. Coach love to the riders that carry cuz, never seen it coming. Was a little foul, still took heart though. My hat off to Lil Owl, EC. 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 Big Spider and Lil Spider both got an Ezel. Tiny Spider got 19, rest in peace, Ezel. Shouts to the females representing EC. The brownies to the quotas, rest in peace, TT. Big Tommy's son on the 7, that's Stay Pops. Me and mine never bowed down to J-Box. And that's the coldest crip a nigga ever met. Coldest crip I ever heard about, better yet. 33rd Neverary, only time a nigga ran. On the land, go ask my nigga Ran. ECG unit, came up a little show. Got told on by that nigga Lil Show. Went on TV, the homies did BT Ugly. Got love for Infinite and Lil EC Buzzy. For death though, that mean to my dying day. EC, that's all I've been trying to say. EC. 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 EC.
Nah, they ain't got no nut with no whack ass in it.
Don't get crunk with your drawers down.
When I'm naked, I lay on my side, I lay on my stomach, I lay on my back.
No Hanes, Calvin Klein, Fruit of the Looms, Mushroom Moon, suited up in the room, waiting to be manipulated, mounted in mall. Madam Mika said, nigga, strip down to your drawers on the set. Must not have heard her correctly, cause cuz bit the pillow laying literally naked. Biggest mouth, bad girls clubhouse, pyro, belly down, booty up, buns out, lucky. She work with the creep and the duct tape. Freaky ass fetish film, one man funk tape. Wiretap nigga, known to tip the laws off. Nasty on the camera with your motherfucking jaws off.
You be screaming till you pass out. Who knew you did it with your ass out? Talking to you blue in the face. I'm just trying to take blue to the bank, 2 to the face, 2, 2, 3 is a K, and K can't make you a real nigga. I pray for any nigga that deal with ya. I shoot the Tommy off the hill, figure wow. It's try to put you on the menu. I got a pack of drawers I can lend you. Big business what I'm into. I got a pack of drawers I can lend you.
Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down.
When you get caught up, I hope them statements don't get bored up. We them niggas that's wicked, no need to warn us on one. Out lurking looking for a Vic. Nigga thinking with his dick, that's an easy lick. Kicking the doors, notorious, it's well known. Talk tough, but only gangsta on a cell phone. Just know the G's gon' get it in on the mission. Before it's done, they ain't leaving a witness. Back out, running the crib like a trap house. Straps out, can't do shit cause you assed out. Could get you lined by an internet diva. Ain't it ironic how my sister named Mika?
Had you on camera, ass up, looking back. Somebody please tell me what kind of gangster is that? Thought you was a real one, but I take that back. You a sus nigga with a team full of rats. Keep losing respect, you can't get back. I know you know some real niggas, but you ain't that. You a certified weirdo, always talking this and that. How you calling niggas out when you the same type of cat? Type of work popped up, and where the fuck you at? No smut on your name, nigga, what the fuck is that? Rock me calling hoes like, don't forget the strap. Waiting in the telly, get his ass cheeks clapped.
Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down.
Whole new meaning when we say you niggas whack now. We Weird niggas better check these whole bitches back. Why you represent your hood, getting caught with your ass out? You with the industry, I think that nigga really trapped now. And I'ma take the side that I'm supposed to. You on Clubhouse, you should be on Pro Tools. I wouldn't sign to you, all your artists old news. Nigga think you should night, this ain't the old school. From North Cali to the South, nigga. We hate watching niggas crash out, nigga. You too old to be doing shit for clout, nigga. We ain't with the going out like a clown, nigga. You know you wrong, nigga. How the fuck you get caught without them draws, nigga? Hella old and exposed like come on, nigga. Now that big U cosign is gone, nigga.
Black 100, face all bumpy. Egghead nigga, mama shoulda named you Humpty. I dump thee, nigga, you are nothing. We all know the story, you the draws down, homie. DOE, I do my dirt by my loan. And don't let me catch you in Kentucky. KY Jelly probably all that you want. And I bet you the booty goon that Ray J was floating. I heard you a rat, that's why you like to fuck with him. Fruit booty nigga on Clubhouse, ass up with him. All that pot shit, and that nip shit. It makes sense why you and Cali watching Nip Dick. On Netflix, wanna be tycoon. Heard about that Whack 100, Jeffrey Dahmer Part 2. Draws down your new name, and nigga, oh the irony. Your face look like Warren Fishburne or the butt cheek. It's real rap, all facts over feelings. It's a hit on your name, and you know I'ma kill it. SBI say to get him. You know a nigga whack, it took 15 minutes just to hop on the track.
Boy, don't get caught with your drawers down.
They telling me it's a nigga laying on the bed.
I was on a jail call, but they gon' have to call back. I would holler free cuz, but they ain't gon' do that. Last nigga tried me, got this shit blue back. Shit crazy in the hood, you gotta keep your two straps. It get crazy in the hood, but we controlling all that. You know the hoes gon' be hoes and hood rats is hood rats. Me gun smoking, Two-Face spent the lap a couple times on the yard, but I got tired of doing that. Nephew will tell you when I ran out my sack, I was cutting down pills, but they could tell it wasn't crack. Not too many niggas get down like way back. I would holler free ghosts, but they don't want the loc back. I was on the lane, sipping on the block with no strap. I ain't never did that since last time I did that. Would be telling if I said that when they got some get back. Drugs in my body, I'm just trying to get back. Packing the mail, wrapped in a gift wrap. When your name ringing bells, ain't no time to fix that. 4800 when my bed rolled back. Yard on the roof, mandatory for the blacks. 6-man sale, got my store on my rack. Selling on the payphone, trying to get his bitch back. Not too many niggas get down like way back. I would holler free blue, but here S&Y rap. Trying to be true, but you can't define that. Go against the line, gotta push the line back. Go against mine, we got 99 straps. Guns in my hood, same kind as Iraq. Blending in the wood, I forgot to pass back. Strings on the hoodie, tied like a wave cap. Bullet from an F and N, push you way back. Time in the pen, never get my days back. Each perk 10 cost $20 flat. If you want it fronted, I need 25 back. Last nigga tried me, got his shit blue back. Shit crazy in the hood, you gotta keep your two straps. It get crazy in the hood, but we controlling all that. You know the hoes gon' be hoes and hood rats is hood rats. Me gun smoking, Two-Face spent the lap a couple times on the yard, but I got tired of doing that. Nephew will tell you when I ran out my sack, I was cutting down pills, but they could tell it wasn't crack. Not too many niggas get down like way back. I would holler free ghosts, but they don't want the loc back. I was on the lane, sipping on the block with no strap. I ain't never did that since last time I did that. Would be telling if I said that when they got some get back. Drugs in my body, I'm just trying to get back. Packing the mail, wrapped in a gift wrap. When your name ringing bells, ain't no time to fix that.
That's my day uno. Only me and him in his two-door Benz. That's my bro. We don't call each other friends, day uno. Even ride with me to the end. Even let me have the last shot at him. That's my day uno. We stay cracking. And when I die, he one of the niggas carrying my casket. Gang bang active. Really with the shit, stay banged up. My day one ain't never changed up. That's my day uno.
Niggas know it since day uno. For rare restaurateurs, and I'ma say puto. And I mean that with all due disrespect to the ops off tops if you diss the set. This man though I go half on the sack with him. Double back on foot with the Mac with him. Cognac, that's what my joint drank, period. I done seen him do it point blank. Neighborhood for death though, EC on mine. Every time still give my nigga 3 up high. When it's cracking, he usually a trip before me in 03 introduced me to Nip. Got a lot of politics between the two turfs. Choose to keep it mafia like Blue Smurf. Half the time I don't even like her, but I ain't never met a nigga like
That's
her.
my day uno. Only me and him in his two-door Benz. That's my bro. We don't call each other friends, day uno. Even ride with me to the end. Even let me have the last shot at him. That's my day uno. We stay cracking. And when I die, he one of the niggas carrying my casket. Game bang active, really with the shit, stay banged up. My day one ain't never changed up, that's my day uno. So when it come to dying, it ain't nothing. Killing ain't shit either, enemies know we stay hunting. We know it's wrong, but we love it. Where you wanna take it? We in the streets, we don't mind a little confrontation. Whole lot of gunplay with me and my low. I'm talking pistol with the scopes when we out on patrol. Hunting for domes, my low was a fool when he get it in. Pull up on him like cuz, let's slide it and getting in. Lil Mac down, my bro, ain't gotta prove a point. It's facts over feelings in my SPI voice. M's be the logo, that's my day uno. We ain't friends, it's only me and cuz in this beans. Like identical twins, we on that same shit. They unos, them be the niggas that I bang with. A lot of politics between both gangs, it is what it is. The homies live the game. That's my day uno. Only me and him in his two-door Benz. That's my bro. We don't call each other friends, day uno. Even ride with me to the end. Even let me have the last shot at him. That's my day uno. We stay cracking. And when I die, he one of the niggas carrying my casket. Game bang active. Really with the shit, stay banged up. My day one ain't never changed up. That's my day uno.
Spark and bark like fuck the narcs. Eating but my pockets ain't full enough. Hear me beating when I'm pulling up. Bitch look good but I ain't trying to hit. Like what you need, what you trying to get. Titties perky, perfect set. She here to purchase Percocets, prescription pills, addiction deals. I know what I'm risking real, but this being Baymac baby, I ain't with missing meals. Everything from pound to pause, beat any price you found it for. Got it all for the low, posted till they knock down the door.
Money on my mind, bands in my pocket. All the hoes be jocking, Diva steady watching. You know they see me posted at the trap. You know they see me posted at the trap. Money on my mind, bands in my pocket. All the hoes be jocking, Diva steady watching. You know they see me posted at the trap. You know they see me posted at the trap.
Yeah, I'm at the trap, me and Spider low. Posted in the cloud of smoke, counting dough. Outlaw rider for show. Trying to get it for the day, cause we ain't promised tomorrow. And I probably ain't involved unless it's paper involved. We really out here without fear and never gave up. When I was broke, I had to hustle till the sun came up. Stay solid, never change up, just get your change up. Close homies, they turn to strangers. Just do your thing, bruh, that hustle make them hate you. Man.
Bands in my pocket, all the hoes be jocking, Diva steady watching. You know they see me posted at the trap. You know they see me posted at the trap. Money on my mind, bands in my pocket, all the hoes be jocking, Diva steady watching. You know they see me posted at the trap. You know they see me posted at the trap. Yeah.
You know where to find me. Unless a nigga get OT, cross state line and take mine, cross seas to get more cheese. We don't talk to no police, put that on the dead homies. My bitch, she gon' lie for me, my partner's gon' ride for me, yeah. Stay on it like I'm on it, living in the moment. Another flight in the morning, nigga tired, no yawning. Facts, you know I'm all about stacks. Track, that's where you find me at.
Money on my mind, bands in my pocket. All the hoes be jocking, Diva steady watching. You know they see me posted at the trap. You know they see me posted at the trap. Money on my mind, bands in my pocket. All the hoes be jocking, Diva steady watching. You know they see me posted at the trap. You know they see me posted at the trap. Yeah. I know they see me posted.
Snakewood and that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.